me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go.
I hate that. I hate that it starts with no audio. It throws me. I do that every time. I haven't talked to Purple. I sent her a message with link and stuff. I haven't heard from her. I don't know if or when she'll show up, but we'll just do like we do. I guess often now when people don't show up, just I'll talk for a few minutes and we'll open it up. Everybody can hear me now, right? All right. You can hear me? Wow, the delays. Okay, cool. Quite the delay there. Uh, anyway, so yeah, I haven't talked to Purple today, and she usually shows up during these streams. So if she shows up eventually and wants to come on and talk or whatever, we will. Uh, I seen Zach's songs with me and Dave and Ember and Michael Beverly, I think. Everybody singing in the songs. Those were awesome. Fun stuff there. But hi to Al and PC and Ember and Zach and Spooky. Hey everybody. I was a minute late getting started. I had a carbon monoxide detector going off and couldn't figure out what the problem was, so I just unhooked it. Probably not the best course of action, but I have good reason to believe there's no carbon monoxide leak. It's caused by something else, but sorry. 1 second. You're already for your chance to win. Oh yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I guess what I'll do here is I will post a link, and anybody who wants to join can join. If nobody joins today, it'll be a really short show. Copy. There you go. Posted it in the chat there. Since it's not a StreamYard link, I'm guessing most people won't recognize that it's actually a link. What just happened? Oh. Why won't it take me to the thing so I can... Oh, it keeps posting people who got memberships. Regios gifted 10 memberships. Looks like Spooky, Yahooligan, Big D, Randy, AJ, Michael Bell, Can't Speak, tilting windmill. Sorry, Andrew Christofferson, Peter, gonna go for it. All got memberships. Thanks, Reggie. I appreciate that. Um, what did we do? We did member stuff day before yesterday. And then yesterday I was on with Blaster Master talking about Corky, and then Corky made a response to, or didn't make a response, just made a video talking smack about Blaster Master. So he made another response directly to Corky, and they're going back and forth now. I haven't looked today. He posts like 20 videos a day going on about all that nonsense, and he said he's going to quit posting videos and stuff, but we'll see. We'll see. I honestly hope he shuts his whole fucking channel down. Not saying he has to, but I wouldn't be upset if he did. Give me just a second, guys, and I'll go in, and I didn't plan on posting a link and stuff. I'll go in and pin that link, so, because it's already long gone now. Let's see. All right. So I pinned a link in the chat if anybody wants to join. It's just, I guess we'll just hang out and talk about whatever today. Apostate Sisters, Patty here. Nancy receives your greetings. Stephanie, hi Stephanie. Stephanie bought some beanies from my shop. That's cool. Thanks, Stephanie. I haven't even bought one of those yet. I was gonna buy one because I think they're cool too, but I haven't got around to doing it yet. Came in with everything a little unorganized today. What's the deal with we get closer to Christmas now? We're 2 weeks in a row that the guests didn't show up at all. But you know, like, or wait, no, was it last week? Hell, I don't remember who has and hasn't shown up now. Let's see. I tell you one thing I don't like about EV Mugs is I have to go back and find the comment to take it back off screen, and when the chat's moving, that's hard to do sometimes. I've got some stuff I'm working on though. I guess I can tell you guys about that while we're waiting to see if anybody shows up. I'm working on still putting some stuff together to get some like media stuff out there about about the Ark Encounter protests that'll be going on in there's Zach in June. Hold on, Zach. Let's do it like this. Let's just do it like that. There we go. What's up, Zach?
Word up, yeah. Sorry, I was just putting an image on my thing. It starts you off with no image, so
yeah. That people come on here and they're like they don't have an avatar already set, and
yeah. I thought because I did it last time, I thought it would still be, but it's not. So there we go.
There we go. I don't know why
I can't. Sorry, I'm all laid up because my hip's still a bit knackered, so I can't sit up, but I can talk. So that's cool.
I don't know why you can see the wall off to the side of my thing. I don't know why that's all the way over there like that. Like it shouldn't be.
Sorcery.
What
Yeah,
up, yo?
apparently. Let's see. Where is the overlay for the thing?
It's to the left.
Boy, I just don't know. Oh, everything's what? It shouldn't be. Oh, I bet it was in the other studio. That's why it's not showing up. Okay. All right. Anyway, hi Amber, how are you?
Hello.
The did you listen to today's song that came out?
I did. It was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So fuck it. Why not do some carols? And like, everybody's a bit of out of sync, but I kind of think that adds to the charm, to be honest.
Yeah, it's sort of the point.
Yeah, I think if it was just done okay, nobody would want to listen to it. It either has to be really really good or train wreck.
Yeah.
Keeps
Well, yeah,
things
because it's
interesting.
Christmas carols. Nobody sings Christmas carols properly unless you're in a choir.
Right.
Then it's hit or miss. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm not in a choir, if you didn't notice. In fact, had it not been for something like that, there's probably no way you would have got me to sing anything. But just because it was in good fun, I was like, well, you know.
Yeah, I figured parody Christmas carols would be the easiest way to get people to sing crappy songs.
Yeah. It
Ooh,
was.
that's a good one for next year. Shit, I forget the real name of the song because the Family Guy parody is the only thing going through my head. The ding fries are done,
I've
ding
already done
fries
that.
are
I did
done.
that one this year. I already did that one. It's called Carol of the Hells.
Oh, okay. I was sing crappy songs would be a good alternate version of that, you know? Sing crappy songs, we move
Oh, right,
along.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
See,
Inspiration.
yeah. Well, my plan for next year is I'm gonna do some of like the 50s, 60s Christmas songs, like rocking around the Christmas tree, shit like that. I'm like, fuck it. There's different periods of shitty Christmas songs I can do.
It's
Yeah.
true. Just be careful about everything past the '80s because you'll be whamming people and giving away people's hearts and whatever other fucking. Oh my God,
I'll
the
have to do
songs have gotten so worse over time, haven't
Oh
they?
yeah, yeah, they have. I'd have to do Mariah Carey, so that'd be cool. I'd dress up as well. Fuck it.
Well, I mean, I'll for sure be there for that then.
Ooh, a sudden guest appears.
Hi, Purple.
Hello.
What up, yo?
Let's see. You're a little bit low. Let me see.
Yeah,
Must
sorry about
adjust the
that.
thingies.
Yeah,
I was doing some research. I lost time.
Happens to me all the time. I was working on a project before this and hours just bloop disappeared.
See, usually on Sundays when I'm late, I'm working on a project too. It's called Still Sleeping. Uh, so, so you did good.
Actually, I was researching how to repair my friend's washing machine.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Fun days.
Why
And
can't I
I
not?
am not familiar with the software, so I could not figure out how to get to show my avatar.
Yeah, you've got to actually join the stream, and then once you're in the show, you can go up in the upper right. It has your name, and you click on your name. It'll show a logout button, but just above that, next to your name, there's a little pencil, and you click on the pencil, and that'll let you alter your avatar.
See, on my end, it's exactly the same way. I can even change your guys' avatars. But the after you get done doing that, Purple, I don't know if there's anything you can do to make yourself louder, but you're coming in kind of quiet.
Again, I don't know if there's anything I can do with this software.
That reminds me, I've noticed that a lot of yep, you're getting the audio through my frickin' webcam. Does that sound any different?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Damn defaults and things.
Yeah.
Marked the entire show last night through my fucking webcam.
Have to go and do new things, and now everybody's like lost. Of course, I don't know either. I've never joined it. Like, so from your end of it, I've never joined a stream on here, so I don't know. I wouldn't begin to know what to do there. Like, I've got controls on this side, I can do different stuff, but I've got Purple cranked all the way up on my end. So
Yeah, again, I'm wondering if it's the same thing, if it's taking my audio from the wrong source. Is there working
yeah,
out
you
how to
might.
switch microphones?
Yeah, for that one, just underneath the window where all our heads are, you click on the little gear for settings, and the middle option is audio, and the top selection on the pop-up there gives you audio inputs, and you can get a drop-down of all your possible microphones. So you can see if it's the right one, select it, and there's also a few other options like echo cancellation, auto gain control. If auto gain is selected, then maybe nope, doesn't give you a manual volume bar. Oh well. Alas,
Technology's the best.
I know. I feel like I need yet another channel to do like tech support things for all the various things that people are constantly running into trouble with. So I
Yeah.
can drop a short, like 3-minute video explaining this is how you do this specific thing, so people can just watch it and know. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, is that any better here?
No.
About the same as far as I can tell.
Hmm.
Why is it? What in the world?
It looks
Yeah.
like it's finding the edge of your screen, Joe.
Yeah, it's well. Let me close because I.
I don't see
There
what
we
else I
go.
can do on my audio from this end.
I adjust that with Logitune, and I had it still open. That's probably what the problem was.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't even see my avatar pulsing here. Hold on.
Yeah, it's I don't know if they actually do pulse in this
Well, I see
application.
yours pulsing, but mine wasn't doing that.
Huh. I don't see mine doing. Maybe we can't see ourselves talking. It's very peculiar.
Oh,
So
I see
hey,
what.
hey, hey everyone, welcome to the tech support stream.
There. That should fix my camera. It was set on auto resolution.
That's always a trip too.
Yeah.
Wood. It's very quiet. Very quiet indeed.
Well, I'm
No.
trying to wait
Yes.
for yeah.
I'm an awkward bastard like that, I suppose. I have to fill silences.
Well, quit being so fucking pushy, Zach.
Shaking your fist all over the place.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, what can I do? It's in the name.
Going around fisting everybody and stuff.
Oh
I asked,
my.
you know.
That's a different thing, I think.
And if you want a fist, go to adamandeve.com.
Yeah. That
they
that
have
ended up
lists too.
that ended up coming up on Dave's stream last night. We ended up making the AdamandEve.com joke because
Oh, they're
some
just so
stupid
good.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, especially when you're covering fundies or something. It's like they're made of innuendos and they don't even know.
yeah. Well, we had Catholics that a couple Catholics that were like saying that atheists aren't allowed to celebrate Christmas.
Oh yeah, the perennial, how dare you, dastardly heathen, steal our sacred holiday that we rightfully stole from the pagans before us.
Yeah.
Well, they've,
Yeah.
it's a rich history. Rich history. It's a fine, rich tradition of stealing everything and claiming it as their own.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's weirdly, there should be more Christians who are against Christmas.
They
Like the
used to be, didn't
Puritans
they?
were. Yeah. So some subgroups
No,
because
I mean, like, Christmas used to be seen as like a ruffian's day, and people weren't allowed to celebrate it because it wasn't about trees and giving presents. People just got drunk and caused fights.
I mean
Maybe that was just in
that's a
England.
+2, I suppose. It could be, but I'm thinking like it represents DEI because it's all about inclusion. The reason there are so many Christmas traditions that don't make any damn sense in regards to the story of Jesus is because the ancient church fathers were like, "Oh, you do a celebration on this day that includes these things? Well, what a weird coincidence. We do that too now. So you can keep your celebration."
Well,
Yeah.
if it was good enough for the Romans, it's good enough for the Christians.
Yeah.
Wasn't that kind of the deal with Constantine, that it was like you can keep doing what you're doing, just call it these things? Just
Yeah, so well, he thought Jesus was Sol Invictus, and Sol Invictus would lead Rome to victory. So he's basically a sun god or something like that. The spirit of Rome.
Yeah. Him and Petronius,
Saturnarian was the sun god.
they had a
we
few.
we can hear purple now.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
is that better now? Can you
Yeah, that's much better.
screwed up system?
Well,
Naturally.
We're on about text perfect, and it never goes wrong, and it never does anything bad. It's always 100% the best.
'Tis
I
the
guess
season for tech demons. Fa la 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 la.
They're not tech demons, they're gremlins.
They're
See,
naturalistic, damn it.
gremlins are anti-technology. They like to go into machines and screw things up. And the more complicated the machine, the more they like it.
and don't get them wet.
No,
Much like machines.
those are a different sort of gremlins altogether.
It's true.
Oh well, now we're just getting.
No, it just has.
We got specific types of gremlins now.
Well,
No.
those
Well,
aren't so much
appreciation.
gremlins, they're more like Asian goblins.
Yeah.
I feel like a goblin. I wolfed down my lunch so I could, jump on
Yeah.
here before Joe shut down the show for not having anybody on the panel.
Gremlins are more like, evil fairies.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I didn't know you were evil.
Only in the Christian context.
Yeah. Depends on who you ask.
Well, in the Christian context, isn't being evil kind of a good thing because otherwise you don't have anything to repent for, so you can't really be part of the religion.
Well, there's that. There's also, if you've got an all-powerful deity who likes to destroy the world and harden men's hearts so he can send more plagues and blow up entire cities for not raping innocent children to death and all this sort of fun, positive stuff. If opposing that is evil, then I'd rather be evil. Thanks.
Yeah, for a timeless, all-knowing God who knows how everything else will turn out, he screws up a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time he's been an all-knowing creator god. You're going to make a few mistakes.
It's true. And just because you know everything that's happening doesn't mean you're going to make the right decisions.
Yeah, you just know you're going to fuck up.
Well, yeah, that is my solution, that if they want the triple omni god, you can have him, as long as you also accept that he's incompetent.
It reminds me of Dark Matter 2525's videos. He's got one of his less funny cartoons, but it's like a dramatic series. Is this concept he's got where Yahweh comes from a race of people in their technologically advanced future, and they've been through basically holy wars that nearly wiped them out. So now, before they let a person become a full adult, they make them go through a simulation where they're given omni powers, and the test is, what do you do when you're all powerful? And Yahweh just keeps fucking it up because he's brand new at it and not a very good person.
Yeah. I actually liked those a lot. I thought those were really good.
Yeah, I think it's called the Power Corrupt series, if I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
Now,
are cool.
the comedy ones with Jeffrey and God are the fucking bee's knees, but Power Corrupts is powerful.
Yeah. 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 I like the ones where they're doing the court case too are cool.
Oh yeah, the lawyers who bend all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no.
Well,
go ahead.
the lawyers who bend all the way around is easy to believe, because we know lawyers are spineless.
Yeah.
Some of them. I can think of a couple who stand up for some things, like Chase Strangio, the first trans lawyer to argue before the Supreme Court a couple of weeks ago, or Mr. Anderson, a member of the community who's been missing for a few months, but remains in
what
our
the hell?
hearts. I think it was my fault. We did a collab together, and then he just vanished. That's still the last video on his channel.
Are you saying you murdered him? Right, I understand.
Shh.
Like
I plead the
like,
fifth.
like he decided he had better things to do than play with the YouTube community, right?
Well,
Lawyer.
I don't know specifically which cases he was working on, but it had something to do with the controversy over First Nations and possibly residential schools or something. And it could be he basically got a stay the hell off of YouTube until this case is over order from his higher ups.
Yeah, that's possible.
I could see that if they don't want him to accidentally release anything publicly.
I don't know. I mean, he never talked about what he was up to for that very reason, but I mean, maybe they abundance of caution or something. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Well, just that being on YouTube, they don't know who will see it. So could that possibly affect a jury?
Maybe. I don't know. That seems like a bit of a reach, because like Legal Eagle is all over the internet, you know? And if anything, it's being internet famous, it's likely to bias a jury in his favor, because we know how people are vulnerable to the power of celebrity.
No doubt. Hey, Jenny. Jenny will be here with me on Christmas Eve. Hanging out.
Yeah, that's what we're actually here to talk about, or precisely what you and Purple are here to talk about, is the Christmas mega stream.
Yeah. I've had it in a few different places, people asking what it is and what it's about and what the deal is and all that. So, I scheduled this even before then, but still, in the last couple days, I know of at least 3 different times I've been asked about it. So, I think that's.
Well, see, we don't know what it's about, so everybody has to watch the whole thing, and then the entire week after Christmas, we'll be debating what it was about.
We'll do reviews.
I'm dropping the link for the playlist in the chat now. It's it's still being updated, but when we get to Christmas, all the different channels and streams will be on there, so you don't have to keep track of any particular channel's thing. You can jump in at any time
Yep.
and see who's live and go directly there. And
Yeah.
many of the shows will have a link to the playlist in their descriptions. Both of mine do. So you can find it later for easy access.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
hopefully, you know, as everybody gets their place cards up, they will be adding those things.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll put that in mine too. I haven't even set up the studio for mine yet.
Well, what the hell, Joe? It's the day after the solstice, and you're like not even prepared. I shouldn't talk. That is the project that I was talking about. I decided that the one I'm doing on Christmas Eve on my main channel, in addition to my traditional spooky Christmas story, I'm also going to prove Jesus, which, you know, it's a modest little thing that no apologist has ever managed. And so I'm working on that now. That's what I've been doing this morning is trying to put together a presentation that fulfills the obligations.
You're gonna prove Jesus what?
That Jesus was real and the savior of mankind.
Damn.
Oh, okay. Well, that should be easy.
Yeah. You know, 2,000 years of theologians and apologists, and nobody's managed to pull it off. But we're gonna demonstrate that Jesus Christ is real and the savior of humanity.
See,
I-
you say it took a couple thousand years. It just took the right woman to figure it out. That's all it is, Ember. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
It just took the right one. And you
know,
were it.
Or-
you may
So
have
congratulations.
because like
Maybe Ember wasn't the first
are men.
one. Maybe their problem is that they just never listen to women.
That's a fair point.
Well, I mean, you know, it does say that.
Uh-huh.
I said it does say that about
Yeah, it
women.
does say that a woman can't teach a man.
Yeah.
And maybe that wasn't so much a commandment as just an observation.
Fair enough. So we have all the spots are filled and stuff now. Everybody's got
Yeah, actually, I've had to go back and I've had to ask some people if they were willing to split their time
yeah.
because
Well,
we've continued to have requests from people who wanted to get in, who should have contacted me at least a couple of weeks ago about that, but
Well, you know, we as a person I met at a college once, I forget which college, it doesn't matter. This person once said, "We can't have everyone be on the ball because then we'd have a flat ball."
well,
Amber, but we're all on the globe, so are you saying that flat Earth is right?
Hush, hush. We just finished the final experiment. Don't give them fuel.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's why it squishes in the middle. That's why it's got a little squish in the middle. It's just getting pushed in from everywhere.
That's right.
See, this is the problem I keep having, is that I've been watching this stuff for so long that now I can just off the cuff come up with better answers than the apologist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually easy. I one of the things that I'm working on is a video of like 10 stupid things that apologists say, and I found that it's not just it's not really that just it's stupid things they say. It's things that they almost all say.
It's like
Which
they
is really
share the
bad.
same script or something.
It's almost
Yeah.
like they have a playbook to go from.
Yeah.
I actually have a script for how an intelligent designer would have made the Garden of Eden. I wish I knew somebody who could animate it for me. I keep seeing it in Prophet Azad's style, but I know that he's got too much going on to do animation anymore.
Well, he did just retire from profiteering. So, if anybody didn't catch it, Zod has stepped back from being Prophet of Zod, and he's got a new channel, Mr. Z. Is it just Mr. Z, or is it like Mr. Z Explains or something?
I think
can't.
it's just Mr. Z. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
yeah.
Well, basically the thing that he's been doing it for so many years, and they never have any new arguments. They just feels he's repeating himself.
I know. I totally get that. I feel like that sometimes.
It's
But,
true.
When you've been saying the same thing for 2,000 years, why would you change it?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so far he's
Right.
only got the one video reviewing the New Norms Rhetoric and Agenda. You know, that
Yeah.
that super anti-woke cartoon. What fun. I'll drop a link for the new Mr. Z channel in the chat also.
Cool.
Oh, Pragmatic beat me to it, of course. Why
Yeah,
did I even doubt?
Well, then, and of
How
course
do you
he's
talk about that person there saying that. I didn't see the name.
and of course he is on every Thursday night with Objectively Dan for Zadanza.
Ah, yeah, that's right. I always forget about that because I do stuff on Thursday nights too, so I never catch it.
Yeah, well, that's why I miss your Thursday night shows, because they overlap.
Oh, I see how it is. I thought you were over at Mark Reed's watching Fundamentalist Fridays because Mark is a future person. There's a lot of shit on Thursdays, isn't there?
There is now. My show was originally on Thursdays because that was the only night of the week that nobody was putting stuff out.
that's
I did my Sunday show on Sundays for that reason.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Now,
that
like,
keeps happening. That everybody tries to go for one night that's like quiet, like they don't think there's going to be anyone else putting stuff at the same time. And then after about 6 months to a year, everybody else starting a new show gets the idea that that's the slow time to put one up. And
yeah, the only one I even do regularly now is my Sunday one. I don't even
Same
do.
here.
well,
I-
also just the community has grown so much. There's so many more people now putting stuff out than there were a few years ago.
Yep, we did our job of community building very, very well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing that there's all kinds of stuff playing. I mean, I think it's
Yep.
good. I mean, because it's not like these things go away when they're over,
Well, that's
So-
like if you look at my Christmas marathons from the first few years, there's really only 6 or 8 people doing the whole thing to try and cover the time.
Yeah.
Is that a Sasquatch coming in here?
Hello, everybody.
Dave, and there were lots of Daves.
What up, Dave?
Everybody ready for the holiday?
No, still doing my homework.
What holiday?
Yeah, we
I
did
heard-
that yesterday.
I heard there was some holiday that atheists aren't supposed to celebrate coming up.
Yep.
So,
Right.
Well, Ember, you celebrate the Yule also?
Yeah, I've always done the solstice, even before I knew about frickin' religions. That's one of the things that drew me towards neo-paganism. It's like, oh, you people do the solstice too? You like astronomy? Oh, they meant astrology. Oops.
my wife and I celebrate because we know it's the shortest day, and coming up, it's only going to get a little bit longer as spring's coming up. So, yay!
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
if you look on my channel, there's an old video I made called Hold Back the Darkness, which is just all about, why I celebrate the Yule.
Yeah, it's a great symbolically too, because it's not just physically the darkest time of year. It's also emotionally, interpersonally, a really, on average, you can have an awful catastrophic day at any time of year, but it seems like this shit seems to congregate around the period where there's very little light.
Yeah. Well, I observe it because, it goes back to how my Nordic ancestors would have celebrated it before anybody in Europe had even seen a Bible.
Yeah, that's fair. I also like it for stargazing reasons, because the longest night means, best stars. You can
Yeah,
track
if
the
you're in
planet.
an area without too much light pollution.
That's right.
There's my avatar.
Everybody has avatars now.
Christmas Bigfoot.
That's right. He reminds me of Cornelius or Dr. Zaius even from Planet of the Apes.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I see that.
We just went to the cemetery and Grandma's got flowers, so
Mm.
we did that, and we took the dogs for a ride, so they had fun too. So.
Nice. I quite like cemeteries. They're very peaceful. That's sort of the point.
Unless the dogs come back from the cemetery with bones.
They stayed in the truck.
I'm a goth. I think I'm contractually obliged to like cemeteries.
Over here, we have a little area, a little village that has a lot of deer, and the cemetery is right on the other side of it. So, yeah, a lot of times when you're over there, the deer are wandering around, and it is very peaceful. It's a nice cemetery. It's kept up, and all kinds of Christmas plants were put out for everybody, and little trees and candy canes, and it is a nice cemetery. So my mom's in a nice place. So I hope she's happy. Damn it.
I got bad news, Dave.
Victoria, hello, Victoria. Just dropped in. It says hello,
Well,
people, and you too, Purple.
The story is my mom was worried that I wouldn't bury her and I would go cheap and cremate her. So I promised her, no, I will do what you want, and cost every dime in my frickin' bank account, but I did it. So
Yeah.
she's in the nice big cemetery, and she's got a nice big stone and all the goodies, and we visit regular because she said we'll forget about her. So we do our bit, and so I don't expect her to haunt me because I kept up my end of the deal.
That's right. You got to keep her in the good land of the dead, where people who are remembered are, not the bad one where the forgotten spirits go.
And like I say, it doesn't mean anything to me. It meant something for my mother, so I promised my mother I would do it. I could have cremated her. It don't make no difference, but I promised her I wouldn't do that. So
Right.
there you go.
Well, that's different.
Sloth Girl donated her body to medical research.
For science!
Yep.
That was, she felt, her final contribution, that if they could learn something from her that would, help them cure the next person that got that.
That's
So
what
then
Hitchens
cremated
did too.
her afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they cremated her afterwards, and I had to have it. Had to get it put in 6 separate containers because now various family members will be scattering her ashes across 3 different states.
Well, that's nice. My brother was cremated, but we put his ashes entombed in the same plot as my mother. So they're together forever. It broke. I think that's why my mother died so early, because she was doing well, and then after my brother passed, it was really hard on her. It took a big toll on her.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen. Do you have plans for yourself for when you're done with this a bag of mostly water?
we have a living will, no life support, and cremation.
I want him to drop me off in the forest, and I can be food for the animals for a while.
Support your local ecosystem.
Yep.
My son was talking about he wants to be one of the tree things where they put your
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
they put you
remains in the
burlap bag
tree
and
thing.
put a
Yeah,
sapling over it.
you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be cool to be a tree in the next life.
My dog is one of my dogs that I lost, and he's out back, and I had this wild tree growing, and my wife kept telling me, "Why won't you cut that thing down?" And I said, "Because it's growing right out of that spot." So, oh, okay. So, yeah, one of my dogs is a tree in the backyard now.
Makes sense. Yeah. When I was little, I wanted a Viking burial. I thought like a pyre, but also at sea was just like such a great mix of opposites. It was very appealing.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why I always wanted to. And actually, I understand that if you jump through enough hoops and do a shitload of paperwork, that Massachusetts may actually allow that.
More areas are doing things. They've got some spots where you can do the natural burial now too, without all the tomb and the casket and everything. Yeah, you can just be put into a real hole with just dirt.
Yeah, well, Minnesota has approved the tree farms
Just
as
give
a
me
way
a
to
big
help
old
free
box.
forest. What was that, Jay?
Just give me a big old box.
Yep.
I won't care. I'm dead.
Bury me with my guns on.
They've got a thing where they're composting people now too. So.
Yeah.
You want to do the tree thing, Ember? Would you be sure you want to do that? Would you be sure you want to do
Would
Oh.
yes
No,
indeed,
sorry.
yes indeed. No, I'm a little torn. I lean towards for science because it's kind of been my entire fucking life, but I don't know for sure. Like, on the off chance the Christians are right, then like that Boba Flex song. If you bury me with my guns, then when I do get to meet Yahweh, I can show him what it feels like to die.
Well, Jenny, what you said about just having your body dumped in the forest, they actually will do that in some cases. They'll just put your body cam out there with a bunch of trail cams pointed at it so they can just watch what happens.
Oh, that would be fun. They could set up a website and get paid.
Yeah, this is part of how they found out that deer will actually scavenge meat and bones.
Yeah, the FBI or something does that too. You can donate your body, and they'll leave it out so they can study, different levels of decomposition.
Farm.
Yeah, to solve crimes and stuff. So
Isn't that in like Alabama or something?
Tennessee, I believe.
Tennessee.
there's a lot of ways you can donate bodies. So.
Yeah, I actually do want to specifically trying to find a place I can donate my brain to, someplace that does research on autism.
I know what I want them to do with my body. Donate myself to Hormel.
Well,
Oh,
being a lot of little tiny cans.
Yep. Hey, Spam is the stuff that they couldn't get away with putting in the hot dogs.
yeah, I'm just over here thinking, like, you spent all these years perfecting your transition only to become a sausage?
Irony.
Well, I prefer the clam route, but
I mean, I guess you can have
Well, that's
about anything
Gorton's.
you want done with it, as long as somebody will pay for it.
Yeah, you
Well,
need,
that's
you
why
need,
you donate. Then they'll
Yeah.
pay to have it.
you need to get a hold of the Gortons, the fishermen.
Use you as a bait. We're going to catch us a giant squid. Imagine all the calamari.
Oh man, I want some calamari now.
No, I won't eat cephalopods. They're too intelligent.
You mean what do they call that stuff again? I forget. Pig rectum.
Oh, artificial
Potted-
calamari is
potted meat?
awful.
Ever since I saw a documentary on how they harvest the Humboldt squid, it really is barbaric how they do it. And there's some pretty convincing evidence that the things are communicating with each other while being hauled out of the water.
Hmm.
You know that they don't make noises, but you know how squids can change the color of their skin. That they actually like flash their skin in different colors and they communicate that way.
Yeah.
When we get this lab grown meat on the go, we won't have to worry about it anymore. Just need to hurry up.
Go one way or the other. I don't know why it keeps changing my camera.
It's
I
getting
didn't
all
know it.
excited.
I didn't know it could even do that.
So, lab grown meat's an interesting topic and might shift us away from the morbidity of certain doom.
Boom!
Doom! Do
Doom,
you
doom,
reckon
doom.
it'll be more viable to make like individual cell colony growths of meat, or to make like algae that pretend to be meat? Which one will work better, do you think?
Whichever one is red and bleeds.
Well, that's what you want the stem cells for. Because you can grow meat from stem cells, and it's getting pretty cheap. It's like $10 a burger or something like that at the minute.
Oh, is that all?
Hey, for fucking growing meat out of like a few stem cells, that's
We
fucking
can
amazing.
grow meat by using cows. There is an easier way to grow a meat.
See, the thing is, right, is that is true, but also this way has no methane, and we don't have to kill the cows. We just grow the meat, and it's just meat.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
but
that's the point, but like $10 a burger, fuck, what are we going to McDonald's?
Hey, it used to be
Well,
10,000.
they have
It
to
just means
scale
it's
it up
coming
yet.
down. It's going to
It's
get
still-
cheaper.
It's still experimental. They're trying to scale it up to make it profitable.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like only 10 years ago, it was 10,000 a burger, so they've done quite well.
Although
you
I heard that the
considered
religious
problem-
right, I heard that the religious right is considering that to be sacrilegious to grow meat and eat it.
Well, of course they do. Any kind of progress to make anything better, they go, "Oh my God, it's sacrilege! Burn it to the ground, and then stone it to death."
Y'all are playing God.
Yeah.
Have you considered the problem though if we don't kill the cows?
Yeah, that's a sort of like the problem of not hunting the deer.
Yeah.
Why are our forests all dead trees stripped of their bark? Why are our crops
wouldn't
all
happen,
getting
though.
chomped? What happened?
It just
Because we
wouldn't
killed the
happen, though,
wolves
'cause
first.
they'd phase out the cows. They'd kill the cows they have, and then they wouldn't breed as many.
Are wild cows a thing?
I doubt they just let. I doubt we'd get lab grown meat and it'd go everywhere. They just
Yeah.
go, "We'll just let all these out everywhere. It's fine."
Our domestic
they came
cattle
from
can never
something
survive
sold.
in the wild.
Because it's one of those as well. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to be like, "No, that's fucking disgusting." Because there's going to be right wing idiots that are going to have some conspiracy theory about it. There's going to be left wing idiots that are like, "It's Frankenfoods," you know, because you can't like GMOs or whatever. You know what I mean?
Cow.
So they're still going to want that. So it's going to lead to massive reduction in it all. So like whatever, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
If you can grow it in a lab, then you can
And-
grow it in space.
Yeah. Because it's one of those, it was shit for a while until we realized that actually what we needed to do, because it didn't taste like meat, and we found out that actually what it was is we weren't putting electricity, we needed to start putting electricity through it to stimulate the muscle moving to create lactic acid, because the lactic acid was giving what the presence of lactic acid through its lifespan was what was giving it its flavor. So they have to like zap it a little bit to make
You
it flex.
got to exercise your meat.
Yeah.
Giggity.
So
And if
I
you
want
want to
to
exercise your meat, go to adamandeve.com.
Use code word Brentley at checkout. I was doing it last night on the stream. You just can't help yourself, you know. It comes up, and hey, why not help Brentley out at the same time, you know?
Exactly. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. I haven't heard that one a few times.
Brentley's one of the good ones, so we were just discussing things, and then so some YouTubers are all that, and good people and nice and friendly, and we give them shout outs, we help them out, we share their stuff, and other folks we may not do that, right? So
some people are assholes, right?
I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say, some people are deserved, and some folks are not. So,
yeah.
Sarissa's channel is still sponsored by Bad Dragon Playground, which apparently the company has ceased all its YouTube sponsorships except his.
Huh.
He's the only one that they still advertise with.
Why is that?
I guess because he's the only channel that was getting good enough results to make it worth it. But he's got a pretty pervy audience.
While we're on the subject, and since I'm doing the links thing, that's right, Justin. Get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt. Here is a list of all the humanist creators, not all of whom I personally agree with, but they generally do some good work. Eventually, I may do another Skeptic Space video to kind of cover that sort of thing, but I've tried to do a few live streams and things, and it just hasn't worked yet. So I'm right now I'm just keeping the list, and the formatting isn't copying over to the chat very well, so I'm like manually adjusting it so it'll actually work. Hopefully, let's try it. Let's see what happens. But if it doesn't, you can find it on betterthanember.com under the menu selection humanists.
I'm putting together a like a poster, a handout, I guess, to throw out on Twitter and Bluesky, announcing that this is taking place and where to go to get the list off of YouTube.
Okay, well, I have set up a playlist that will have all of the, all of the place cards in it as I get them.
Right.
Yep. Okay, yeah, just that, that's the one address that everybody could go to and, be able to find links to all the channels.
If we have two opportunities to direct people, then we should use both opportunities to direct people. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that, if you want to, be doing pamphlets or whatever to advertise it to other channels, that one should have, we'll have all of the links as soon as I can get everybody to give me all the links. So yeah, that's a reminder here to everybody. I need everybody to DM the links to me. We've only got a couple of days here. So set up your streams and send me the links.
I feel like this is personal.
You're certainly not the only one here. Actually, Zach is the only one here who is not going to be part of this yet, as far as I know.
I didn't even know it was going on, to be honest.
Yeah, that's okay. All the time slots are filled.
That's all
So
right.
if you just, but there's always going to be people who, need panel members. So.
Oh, let's just stretch it another day.
Yeah, eventually we'll build up to taking up the whole week between New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's enough of us now. We totally could. Although it's harder when people don't have the day off from work.
It's the good thing about me. I don't work. I just.
Well, there you go.
To be honest, I ignored YouTube this entire month doing fucking carols. I was just ignoring everything that was going on.
I made a tiny URL for the playlist page, you know, in case anybody wants a shorter version, and I just put that in the chat.
Yeah, I made mine a tiny URL because the other one was about 3 paragraphs.
And one of these days, you know, one of us will get rich enough we can afford like a domain name, and we can make it like Christmas Atheist Skeptic Humanist Megastream.com or something, but shorter, you know, little snappier. Maybe we'll make a nice initialism out of it or something, and we can just adjust where it forwards to every year, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see.
Where'd Reggie go? Maybe Reggie could spring for that. It's like $14 a year or something to get a domain name.
Well, hey, Zach, I've been sharing the songs around, especially to a lot of people that have asked me over and over to hear my singing voice. And
it's beautiful, Dave. It's beautiful. Got a beautiful voice, Dave.
They all appreciated your work and everything, and so good job.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
I was going to do more, but I got hurt. I hurt myself, and then I lost loads of time. I was going to do 12, but then, yeah. Oh well.
Yeah,
well, if you do it next year, just start a little earlier because.
I meant to, but I had a fall in like mid to late November. And
right.
I hurt my hip, and I was out for a couple of weeks, just basically writhing around in agony.
Because like what I was doing was.
I just wanted to make mention of the YouTube thing I'm doing. You'll see it when it's ready, and I'm going to need that playlist from you so I can include its address so people can go to that too. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Catch you guys making later. A thing on the YouTubes?
No. I'm putting together a static announcement sheet, a board, a poster, whatever you want to call it, to put up on Twitter and Bluesky. Just a one page here. Come and do this. Here's the link.
Yep.
It'd be nice to get more than 5 people in the audience.
I put the tiny URL thing in the private chat. Although it's interesting, there's messages in there from December 15th. Are you just reusing the same studio, Joe? Is that a thing you can do?
Yes, I can.
How curious.
Yeah, I can just go and edit it and change it for each time. And I can have separate studios with completely separate like backgrounds and everything.
It's pretty neat. I know from StreamYard, like once you activate a stream and use a stream key, you have to make a completely new one every time.
Yeah.
No, StreamYard has now started doing that too, that you can set up a reusable stream.
Well, a reusable studio, but it'll still do a different instance every time.
I can also how I posted the link for this. If I want to cut that off, I can go and just go generate a new link and it'll deactivate that one for the same studio. And everybody that's here will stay here though.
Joe's got all kind of new toys.
Hell yeah. Well, I don't know for sure if I'm going to move after Christmas to a different streaming provider or if I'll just like switch to the free mode because once we're done with Christmas, I don't know when the next time I'll have like an open panel kind of situation will be. So I don't need the 10 guest slots. It's usually only Mark who comes over regularly, you know?
Yeah. Well, I did that for many years just on the StreamYard free thing. Because, it was hard for me to get 6 people watching, let alone get 6 people on the panel.
Oof, I feel that.
Oh, you've already blown past me.
Oh, no, I'm going in the other direction. A year ago, I had 40, 50 people in chat every single show. and now it's a struggle to hit 20. You know.
Yeah, but how many subscribers have you got?
Oh, hey, I only lost 2 so far this week. It's
Woohoo!
1906 presently.
I lost 2 this week
Yeah.
too.
I've been doing this for 7 years, and I haven't gotten up to 1,000 subscribers yet. I've still only got like 650.
And this is my 3rd year, and I'm only on just over 300.
Yeah.
I hit 415. Woo!
Hell yeah. Yeah, Transpositions was at 444 as of the last show. Yeah, every channel's different. You know, I know it sounds like a platitude, but really we shouldn't get discouraged, because remember, Grayson was stuck at like 600 for almost 2 years and then suddenly exploded, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest, I was much more down on it until I realised how many subscribers I gained in the past year, because I only had 30 at the start of the year. I miscounted it, and I was like, oh fuck, I've got like an extra fucking 100 plus that I thought I didn't have, so I guess it's not as bad. I guess it wasn't as slow as it was.
And check your numbers too. It's the thing. It's like I was just there was a stream going on. They were celebrating 9,000 subscribers, and good for them, right? But they had 7 people watching.
Yeah,
I had 30 peak 30 viewers last night. So it does mean a lot more when it's great to get all the subs and everything, but are any of those ever coming back to watch your stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, I want to at least get to 500 so I could start fucking getting
Me too. I want Bigfoot emojis.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. People love emojis.
I want some Bigfoot emojis. I'm itching.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, once you get the tools turned on and activated, then you really only need to maintain official monetization status to keep the tools.
Yeah.
And everything else is just extra. And you're right, views matter a lot more than subscribers.
I hit 4.3K today, Joe.
Well,
Good.
So I've got viewers. So I appreciate that people watch my stuff, leave me comments and stuff. Mike, or was it Michael or Brainless? Yeah, Brainless just left a comment. Great video, dude. And that means a lot. They watched it and they at least liked it enough to say something, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I know the YouTube algorithm is deeply mysterious and nobody can figure it out.
Hell no.
But I think I may have figured out one element of it, why my channel's not doing well. I think that you get more views and subscribers if you actually produce content.
Oh, is that the trick?
Well, I think that's the part I've been missing. Because I haven't made an edited video in like 5 years now, so.
Well, did you see what you did, Joe?
What did I do?
You made Blaster make content.
Oh yeah, Corky did that. I didn't make him do it.
Yeah, I was just kidding, but yeah, I was looking around yesterday and I was like, holy cow, Blaster Master has content out. And I think it was BS that said 3 years in between content. This is truly a Christmas miracle. So.
Well, I want to know the cheat code that Shannon Q got. Because Shannon Q she was only guesting on Paula Gia's shows. And she said no, she wasn't going to make content until she got 1,000 subscribers. And she actually got 1,000 people to sign up and start pressuring her to make content.
Well, I mean, yeah, that'll do it,
Those two, for how many years I was saying, I wish the two of them would just hook up, And then when they did, I was telling my wife and everybody, hey, Paul and Shannon hooked up. I was like, I was rooting for them, And when they did it, it was just really cool. It was like friends, and
Yep.
and you're like, oh, they because they both had some, rough patches, and when you go through that, and then you each find somebody, and you can be happy and stuff, kind of. I know it doesn't make up for the hard times, but in a way it does. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, I'm always happy that that the folks who had troubled relationships can find somebody good and be happy and smiling and all that. It's nice.
Well, I'm not going to name names, but I know about a dozen people in our community who met their partners through having a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, I think AJ met somebody online, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, Casey has said that, she met Godless Engineer because she used to fall asleep to his streams.
Interesting.
I have that problem with people falling asleep on my streams too.
No, that isn't a problem. If they fall asleep during your stream, it means they can't cut out early. They'll watch your stream to the end, and that's what you want, because then you get 100%
Heck yeah.
attention.
Heck yeah.
I am just doing this YouTube thing all wrong.
I wasn't watching the stream though. I was on stage.
Actually, I help everybody out with that. When I go to bed at night, I just leave a YouTube playlist running.
Hell yeah.
Joe was just lulled to sleep by my soothing tones.
That's what it was.
It actually helps me fall asleep if I've got familiar voices going.
James said as a compliment when he listens to my videos, it puts him to sleep, and that is a true compliment because he's got sleeping problems. So
Yeah.
I take that as a true compliment that I help somebody get relaxed enough and they just dozed off. I was like, I'll take that. I'll take that.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I've got chronic insomnia, and that's what I mean about having familiar voices playing helps, because then I'm not aware of all the noises of my neighbors going through the corridor.
Well, Joe has sleeping issues too, and when he nodded off, we were all like, "Hey, Joe's catching some Z's. Good for him." Not one of us said anything, but we were just glad that he was catching some Z's. So.
Hell yeah.
why I was-
Espra says Dave does have a soothing voice. I've said to you before, you should do like audiobooks or like soothing stories or something, just to you'll get like 100,000 views eventually.
I have been trying to talk more. I used to put up like text and stuff, when I made my videos, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on my voice, so I try not to do that now. I try to do, I record the stuff instead of just putting up text and stuff. So.
I always forget that.
Hell yeah.
And I appreciate all the compliments. I told my wife, gee, if I'd have known my voice was so soothing, I'd have gone into radio or something a long time ago.
Have you considered going into doing audiobooks?
Yeah, that's been suggested.
Yeah, because I really, I don't read novels. I only read for research, because with my dyslexia, reading is a bit of a chore. So the only way I get novels is audiobooks.
Justin!
Hey.
Hey, Justin.
I was chasing a Bigfoot and I found myself in here by mistake. Have you seen him?
I've been on the hunt. I've been on the hunt, man. I have a channel dedicated.
For a while.
How you guys all doing?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Better now that you're here. Hi, Joe.
All right.
Hi.
Great place you got here. Is that incense you're burning? It smells wonderful.
Yeah.
You smell delightful.
That ain't incense here. It smells good, though.
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail the conversation. You guys were all talking about, like, it almost sounded like you guys were ramping into a discussion of the future. Like, everyone talking about the different content they want to make and different things going on and subscribers and stuff.
I've been enjoying Saturdays. Mike used to do Saturday Night the Atheist, and he kind of wasn't doing them. And I said, "Hey, do you mind if I do them?" And he's like, "No, go ahead." So we've been having a lot of fun hanging out on Saturdays. So I think I found a little niche there for myself. So
It's one of the 2 days of the week I'm never free. Bullshit.
well, it's like everybody was just saying, though, there's so many, spots where those, that's like Maya's time or Joe's time. Certain people have, oh, yeah, you don't want to do anything because, they do their show every week,
Yeah.
So it's hard to find, the spots because, yeah, they've been pretty much owned already,
Well, my show was originally Midnight Mid-America because I was doing it Thursday nights at midnight because I couldn't find a slot earlier than that there wasn't somebody else running.
Yeah. Well, and you got like Brentley and Chris and some of these other ones are doing the morning shows now, so they're finding a spot in the mornings.
Yeah, you can have that.
I'm awkward and I'm in Britain, so it's always an awkward time when I've got a stream. It's fun.
I was just thinking about it while I was listening to you guys chat and stuff. And what might be helpful for all of us being these like entry level tier content creators is we need to figure out a way to do a 24-hour stream where we can just have like one program from each of our channels per week just playing nonstop on rotation. Like, here's what happened last week on Better Than Ever. Here's what happened last week on the Kentucky Atheist. And just let that roll live, the replay live streams and stuff. And just scrolling through all of our channels like it was a network channel of sorts.
Yeah, actually, Chris, who does the Damn Show, was just doing that with, his episodes from previous years.
Yeah, I've seen a couple channels do that with like their past content and just having it. Like the Atheist Experience, for example, they have like 20-something years worth of content. They now have that 24-hour channel that just constantly rolls clips all day. It could be kind of cool to have something similar where like grab one episode from every channel from the past week and set it up in a playlist and just let it roll through on repeat for 7 days and then change it up the next week for another bunch of videos.
And Joe was just talking about re-releasing some of his early stuff, and it's like, yeah, a lot of our, when you first started, it didn't get a lot of views, So maybe putting it back out again, people never got to see your stuff from last year or the year before when you only had 50 subs or whatever.
A greatest hits, if you will.
Right.
See, I've been thinking about re-recording some of that stuff because it's also truly dreadful. Some of my early shit.
Yeah. I thought about it too, but it's kind of neat though to see yourself, evolve over the years, So.
Oh yeah, no, I'm about taking the other ones down and just like no, because like I had a guest host and he had a habit of using wrappers and making rollies with papers right in front of the microphone at every available opportunity that he could, and would refuse to not do that when the mic was on. So it sounds horrible on some of them.
Can I ask what you guys think of the censorship on YouTube? I don't know if that's a banned topic here or not, but I'm just curious.
By YouTube or by YouTubers?
By YouTube itself. What I'm referring to is if you have certain content that is, I guess you could say, controversial to like one party or another, political party or another, they will flat ruin you, man. Take your channel off the air.
Yeah, they've made it difficult to talk about some important topics.
Yes. What I don't like is you can't even say certain words. You can't speak certain words out loud that are normal everyday words that we use in conversation, like KILL, or we use unalive and things like that to get by things. I just think that's utterly ridiculous. But that's just me. I don't know.
No, it's never happened to me. So the only time that sort of thing has happened to me is where if I try and sometimes when I do like anti-conspiracy stuff, they
Yeah.
just delete my shit saying I'm a conspiracy theorist. That's like the only time
Yeah.
it's ever happened to me.
Well,
When I
that's
say
the
all
thing
sorts of
that
shit, they don't really give a shit about that.
yeah, the
Now,
algorithm doesn't know the difference between if you're speaking pro or con on a topic. It just shuts you down for keywords.
yeah.
Pinworm gave a $2 super chat and said, "Everybody here's great. Star-studded cast."
Word
Thank
up, yo.
The reason I asked, I'm wondering what direction to take with my channel. I had this is a new channel, a newer channel. I created it before, but I didn't put anything on it because I had a main channel. And in my main channel, I was really doing pretty well. I got up to almost 5,000 subs. And then all of a sudden, um, they just pulled the rug right out from under me. And my content, too, wasn't all that bad. I mean, you guys remember when Julian Assange kind of did his little disappearing act around 2015, I believe it was?
Yep.
Well, I did a lot of content on that. And I had even called uh, place where he was holed up at there, the diplomat place. I forget which country it was, even Bolivia and
No, it was Costa Rica or something like that, wasn't it? Or
yeah,
Paraguay.
something like that. But I even called them to try to talk to him, and then I did some content on Hillary Clinton's missing emails and all kinds of things like that, and I was kind of like pro Hillary for prison campaign thing, but not that that's important. But the important thing is, I didn't call her any names. I didn't say anything that wasn't in mainstream news, and yet they banned my channel for quote unquote hate speech. Uh, and it wasn't hate speech at all. It's just a political opinion. So I'm wondering, how hard should I work on YouTube? That's just me.
Yeah, well,
Well,
at least they told you why. YouTube deleted my channel twice before I posted my first video.
Wow.
My last live stream that I did was the whole about Trump tweeting about Canada being America's 51st state.
Yeah.
And it got like restricted, if you will,
Yeah.
for shocking content, election advertising in the United States, election ads in Canada, and election ads or issue ads in Ontario. So like, I got hit 4 different times because all we did was talk about Trump and what a dick he is.
That's
And
crazy,
because I'm
man.
Canadian, yeah. If I wasn't
Yeah.
Canadian, I probably would have got away with most of it.
Well, and I am afraid, is it going to get pushed more to the right, when Trump's in office and his people are pushing things?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Well,
You see,
he said it's
even though
yeah, are they going to push it to the point that we can't talk about transgender issues even when it's our own lives we're talking about?
it's getting
Well,
to be pretty
Florida's bill just went into action where you got to like prove ID to watch like porn and stuff.
Yeah,
Kentucky's
a couple of
got that for a
states are
while.
having that now.
Yeah, that's a baby step into the
I hope they
direction
try
of
that
where they
over
want
here
to
as well.
go.
Personally, I think that porn thing was just passed by somebody who's heavily invested in the VPNs.
Kentucky's had that for a while. I mean, the thing is that like there's a difference between things that are like the government says you can't do or that are illegal or whatever that advertisers say they won't put ads on.
Yeah.
And then things that YouTube decides it doesn't want to promote on its platform. And I mean, YouTube's a private company.
Well, and even the ID thing with porn. Since virtually every house now has a printer that can scan documents, what's to stop a kid from lifting his dad's driver's license, making a copy of it, and putting it back, just so that he's got the right numbers to enter in for the ID?
Well, that's
Nothing.
why those states don't allow you to actually, or the sites won't even show in those states. It's actually that's not the actual point to get people to put up their IDs. It was to get the sites to stop servicing those states, period, which is what they did.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what our political opinion is, really. We ought to have the right on any social platform to speak our opinion. And anytime a social platform censors either side, that's, in my opinion, that's just an unfair practice. And everybody ought to have a right within reason to say what they want to say.
Did you see Elon tease about buying D&D just to get at nerds?
Yeah.
The last I saw, he was threatening to buy MSNBC.
Yeah. I'm imagining a world where he goes and buys D&D and it does the same thing to it that he did to Twitter. All that's going to happen is that like the real D&D fans are going to turn around, re-release 3.5 edition and just be like, call it something else and screw you guys.
They did that already. It's called Pathfinder.
There you go.
Yeah.
They brought out 4th edition. D&D fans hated it, so they made Pathfinder, and Pathfinder is just a better 3.5.
Well, there you go.
Elon had to scrape, beg, and borrow just to buy Twitter. He doesn't have any liquid cash, so he can talk about buying places, but I don't think he has any liquid cash.
Well, he's still in court about fighting to get his executive bonus from Tesla.
Yeah,
because
he sure tanked that.
Keeps voting him down.
Yeah.
He keeps saying he's entitled to it, but the board keeps, saying that no, we're not doing this.
Well, the thing with Twitter is he got the Saudis to put up half the money.
Yeah.
Now, he may be a goof, and he may blow up billions of dollars in tax dollars and think it's funny, but I don't think the Saudis have the same attitude, and I'm curious when they're going to call him up and say, "Hey, we loaned you a bunch of money, and we're waiting to see our return on it that they haven't gotten a dime for."
Unless the return on it is him fucking America up in whatever way.
Right. That's what I've been wondering about a lot lately is, even if he expected to lose money on Twitter, I think he more bought it because he thought he could control what people say. Mostly, I think he thought he could control what people said about him, but also that he greatly used it to influence the election.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't think ever getting the money returned, I don't think that was ever really part of the plan.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, and that's why I could see the Saudis going along with that. If he was going to use Twitter to get Trump reelected instead of the Saudis getting somebody that they'd find harder to deal with. Because the Saudis know how easy it is to buy off Trump. All they did was...
Yeah, they're one of the few that still borrows him money.
Well, they all put the magic globe together, didn't they? So they have a bond.
Yeah. But when Trump was president, the Saudis just leased out several floors in Trump Tower. Was never once anyone in them. It was just a way for them to launder giving money to Trump.
I've just always been curious as to who exactly is willing to throw away 40 million or 40 billion, $20 billion. What did he pay for it?
I thought it was $4 billion. Yeah,
$4 billion. Yeah, okay.
No, it was 44.
Yeah,
whatever it was, half of it, somebody else put up, and
it was a few dollars more than I got. That much for sure. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I have this feeling that they didn't light that money on fire. I may be wrong. You may be right. I'm just saying. I'm wondering if somebody's going to make a phone call someday. So
was it lighting money on fire if they managed to get exclusive contracts with the U.S. for something, especially if it was military equipment designs?
Well, businesses that stay open and don't make money can also make money, right? They get all kinds of government pay back
Yeah.
and assistance and help. My old boss for Much Music when I worked there owned like 4 companies to run the one company, and he used one company to just pay bills. That's all that company did was pay bills, which meant every year when he did taxes, that company reported like thousands of dollars of losses.
Yep.
And then he would get all kinds of like returns for that.
Well, that was, remember WKRP in Cincinnati, the TV show?
Love that
And
show.
it was such a loser station and everything. And then it came out because Mama Carlson wanted it to lose money because that was her write-off for her
Yeah.
other businesses. Yeah. So the last thing she wanted it to do was make a dime. Yeah.
Yeah, she actually got annoyed with her son because it started to be profitable.
Yeah, when he finally broke even or whatever or made some money, she was like, "No, we can't have this." And that's when it hit him, you know. Hey, wait a minute. You want us to fail. Well, duh, it's a business.
Yeah, that was great comedy.
It's the producers. You can make more of the flop.
Except for the Thanksgiving episode, that was a tragedy.
That episode is probably the most replayed TV episode ever.
That's the one that everybody remembers, yeah.
The one I remember is when they're all high and Bailey's singing NESTLES chocolate.
Yeah, they spoke on a lot of social issues. Great show.
Yeah. They even had a domestic terrorist episode that somebody blew up the broadcast tower.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the guys are they're sitting there banging on the box that the bomb is in and everything. That was a good one.
Was one of the last episodes I saw.
Dr. Johnny Fever.
Yeah.
I like when he'd have to look at his coffee cup to remember what his name is because he had so many radio names over the years. Yep. This is Doctor, and he'd look at his coffee cup, Johnny Fever.
Well, and it's like there was one episode that the police came in and were questioning him, and he actually gave his legal name. And Carlton said, "No, that's not going to work. His name's Johnny Fever."
Well, I remember Venus Flytrap, they were using his real name when the military came looking for him.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? We're looking for Gordon Sims. There's nobody here by that name. And Venus is like, that's my name. They're all like, that's your name? It's like, what'd you think his name was Venus Flytrap?
I had a weird episode week before last. I had some cop come to my door knocking and asking for someone I've never heard of. And I'm like, what the hell was that about? Because it's like, it wasn't even the previous resident of this apartment, because I've seen the mail for him.
Last time they came to my door, they were looking for somebody. I answered the door. I said, hello. And they said, have you seen this person? I said, you have the wrong address.
Last time they came to my door, I went to jail.
Do not talk to the police. Say, nope, you got the wrong address. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't remember. There you go. Goodbye.
I just said I don't know who that is because I really didn't. But a better response would be, it depends. Will you pay me more than he did?
I'll tell you why the police were called on us the last time, but it would probably get your channel banned. So I'll avoid that for right now.
Don't do that.
Yes, sir.
When I lived in New York, I actually did have an FBI agent knock on my door because he wanted to know why I had bought a container of industrial ammonia. So I had to take him out to my shop, and I had to show him the orders I had that somebody had commissioned me to build an ammonia refrigerator system. It was a very big area for making meth.
Wow. Yeah, I'd say they frown on things like that.
Well, before we moved to that house with my fiance and I had lived in our first apartment, the house at the end of the block suddenly exploded without any explanation, or at least no explanation the cops had. Everybody in the neighborhood knew why.
We've had a couple of them around here blow off the foundations.
Yeah.
Well, if you can say all that, I can tell you what happened to me then. We lived, there was a bunch of crackheads that lived around us. And we're an older couple, my wife and I, and we have a couple little dogs. And she would take our little dogs out every morning for a walk. And one morning, they stepped outside, and I just got out of the hospital from 8 heart conditions, guys, and stage 4 COPD, right? Now bear that in mind. So she takes the dogs outside, and all of a sudden I hear a bunch of growling and snarling and snorting. And I open the door, and my wife was surrounded. Well, there were 2 big pit bulls, and they were going to attack my 2 little dogs and my wife. And I stepped out as they were attacking.
Oh.
And they were right there on our porch. And I've got guns, but I mean, I live in Kentucky, right by Joe, not far from Joe. And I had guns there available, but I didn't even think to bring one outside with me. I just stepped out on the porch. And by that time, both dogs were attacking my dogs. And they had already bit my wife. One of them had. So I grabbed him by the collars, and I just pulled back as hard as I could pull back. And I got him off my dogs and off my wife. And I told her to carry the dogs back inside real quick. So she got them inside. And I let go of the dogs finally. And believe it or not, they didn't turn on me. I was just amazed by that. And when I let them go, they went running off. But I went in to check my dogs, and one of them they had nearly killed. It died the next day.
Oh.
Yeah, it was dead the next morning. But before it died, my landlord came over, and she had reported it to the police and everything, and tried to get the dog moved out of there, and they wouldn't do anything about it. So she said, I don't know what you're going to do when you got to feed your dogs and take them outside, unless you take your gun out with you. And so I said, okay. I took my gun out with me the next morning when the wife went to take them outside. And this girl had her pit bull, crackhead now, had her pit bull tied up around back. She saw us outside with our little dogs. The one was dying. And she went around back, took her dog off by the leash, brought it back inside, closed the door, and then opened the door with the dog off the leash, stepped outside and pointed her dog toward us, and it charged us. And I raised my 9mm rifle, and she started screaming, "Don't shoot my dog!" Not trying to grab her dog; it's already charging us by now. And when it got about 15 feet away, I fired, and I shot it 3 times. I didn't kill it, and but I did protect my family. And she started screaming and cussing. I just let her. I didn't say a word. So I knew they were calling the cops. All of a sudden, I hear this, "He shot me! He shot me!" This was after she quit screaming and went back in for about 5 minutes. And she called the police and told them that I had shot her. So the police come, and they're like, there's several of them there, of course. And after they get her story, they knock on my door, and I see this is after a life squad pulled up. And he says, "Did you shoot their dog?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he asked me what happened, and I told him. And he says, well, that's okay, except they're over there right now. You shot her. I said, well, no, she's lying to you. I didn't shoot her. He said, well, they're over there right now pulling buckshot out of her arm, BBs out of her arm. And I said, well, if they're pulling, now you know she's lying to you, because I didn't shoot it with a shotgun. I shot it with a 9mm rifle. And when they take that dog to the vet, they're going to pull out 9mm slugs.
Yep.
And that's exactly what they pulled out. So I was thankfully not arrested. Nothing was confiscated, and they didn't charge me with anything. But that's how insane this world is getting, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like you got some shitty neighbors.
Not anymore. Not anymore. No, I love where I'm at now. I've got great neighbors. Everybody here. It's rural. It's country. But we all look out for each other here.
Shh, don't say nothing. It's quiet time. Dave is sleeping.
Well,
What's everybody doing for the holidays? Shift gears, moving forward.
Running a marathon.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's like the 24-hour, 48-hour?
48-hour. Got to go 48-hour to cover every time zone on the planet through Christmas Day.
Amazing. Amazing. Who else has got stuff going on? Joe, you just going to stay there all for the next week? Staring at your camera? Yeah.
Yep. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for it to pass.
Who
Wait,
here?
what I do.
Who here still sets up a Christmas tree?
We set one up, but
I didn't this year just because I'm still sorting through Sloth Girl's things and I didn't physically have space for it in the apartment.
We didn't set up a conventional one, but my wife's sister a couple of years ago gave her a small Christmas tree that my wife likes to put out every Christmas.
My wife and I did it once earlier in our relationship, just like a little mini Christmas tree, and then we shoved all kinds of presents underneath, and we tried to do a Christmas morning, which we couldn't wait till Christmas morning. Ended up being like let's wait till midnight Christmas Eve and just open our gifts.
Yep.
Where we bought each other a handful of gifts, house coats, PJs, that kind of stuff. And it was fun. And then we were like, we don't need to do that again, do we? Like, we need to do a house coat. We'll just go buy ourselves a house coat. And she's like, yeah, that's not. That was the last time we ever bothered.
we do it for the kids. They like it.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So are you saying if you didn't have kids, there'd be like no decor or like Christmas morning situation happening?
Right.
It is a lot more for the kids.
And what about Christmas evening or even Christmas Eve? Is there like family get-togethers for you guys and like turkey dinners and stuff, or is it a pretty quiet, solitary occasion?
I get pissed and watch Hogfather. That's about it.
In that order?
Yeah.
You can't watch and then get pissed?
It's an all-day affair.
And Purple's Rhymes with Orange, you're running some 48-hour streams. So I guess that's like your Christmas tradition now. You're probably monitoring that, even if you're not always on that.
Yeah, this is also part of the reason why I feel I need to keep at least 300 miles between me and my bio family, so they can't expect me to show up very often.
Right. What about you, Joe? You visiting aunts and uncles and stuff and big dinner, or is it like Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet? What do you do? What are you up to?
Just another day.
Just another day?
Yeah.
So you do your Christmas morning, you watch the kids open their presents, and it's all fun and smiles. And then once that's done, you look around the room and go, what a mess.
Pretty much, and then I usually put toys together the rest of the day. Like,
Oh, actually, I kind of enjoy that part.
yeah,
As a kid, my favorite thing was putting the stickers on my new GI Joe vehicles. That was always like my favorite part. Once that was done, the toy just never got touched again.
yeah. I put batteries and everything, put stuff together. Usually
Well,
end up having to build something out of Legos at some point.
yep.
And how long until the tree comes down, Joe?
Usually within a couple days.
Before New Year's?
Yeah,
The tree's gone already?
yeah.
Oh.
No, no, no. You're doing it all wrong.
Oh, you're doing it wrong, Joe.
The
Uh,
tree goes.
Sit up, Joe. Pay attention.
I
The
mean,
tree
that's
goes up the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it comes down on the Feast of Epiphany, which is January 6th.
yeah. We put up the tree.
He's not doing that.
we put up the tree the day after Thanksgiving, and it comes down sometimes the day after Christmas. We're done messing with it by then.
You know what's triggering for me right now, and I understand why, but is hearing you both talk about setting your Christmas trees up after Thanksgiving. But for me, I'm like, Halloween hasn't happened yet. Why are you setting up your Christmas tree?
Right. Yeah.
Huh?
Huh?
How's Halloween not happened after Thanksgiving?
I'm Canadian, so in Canada we celebrate Thanksgiving in early October. So
Yeah, I didn't realize you were Canadian. That's why I didn't get it.
Look, can you tell my fingers are sticky from maple syrup? See?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, it's like Thanksgiving, and then all the stores are dressed up for Halloween, and then like November 1st, the Christmas stuff is out. The Halloween stuff magically just disappears. And then of course that's the day you go buy all kinds of candy and stuff because after Halloween,
yep,
all the candy is at a discount.
Native Atheist says Scrooged is his favorite Christmas music. What's everybody else's?
I love the Scrooge, man. I that's a Christmas tradition for me. I watch the Scrooge every single year.
Wait, did you say Christmas music?
Movie.
Okay, I thought you said music. I was like Scrooge.
I might have.
He did say music.
Okay.
I was thinking along that line.
I was like, this must be one of those things I don't understand. I'll just smile and nod.
Yeah, I might have.
Mine is torn between two different versions of the Christmas Carol. It's either the Alistair Finney version or the Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's a solid one for sure. As a kid, the one that brings the most nostalgia to me when I see it is that claymation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I was going to mention that. Yes.
No,
yeah,
that wasn't claymation. That's puppet animation.
Yeah, the stop motion would have been the proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one, when I see that one, I always just been like that elf who wants to be a dentist is the silliest nonsense I ever heard of.
Yeah.
It's just so great.
I don't think I've ever missed a year without seeing that from the time I was like, shoot, well, I'm 67 years and I don't recall ever missing that program.
I would have legitimately been upset if I didn't see it that year. Like, where is it? I want to see it. And another one that's not so Christmassy yet is it's here. I remember it is Alice in Wonderland. That seems to like have always played over the holiday season. While I vividly remember like the family putting up the tree and I'm watching Alice in Wonderland and being scared because there's some like creepy ass wolf or dog in that movie that's chasing Alice around. But
you're a mean one.
Yeah. Didn't dig that one so much. I don't know. I wasn't into the music as much.
Well, the original animated one was good. The remakes should have never happened.
Well, I guess the Jim Carrey one is like the popular holiday one to watch now. Everybody apparently really likes that one. I remember when it came out, it wasn't that big a deal, but I guess it's great now.
Yeah, I don't like that one. It just
How much
doesn't
you want
fit the lore of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next?
How many Scrooge movies are there? There's the Muppet one. There's the original, like 30s version, and then there's one that was remade in the 70s or 80s, perhaps. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, the Alistair Finney one was in the 60s, I think.
Okay. And that's the black and white one. Wasn't the original one in black and white?
Yeah, there was an original in black and white. The Alistair Finney one was in color.
Okay. And that's probably the one I'm familiar with then, right? That's that what you're saying? That's the one that was like super popular until the Muppets did one kind of thing?
Yeah, it was a musical one.
Yeah. And the Muppet one is solid. Like, even as a Muppet movie, never mind the Scrooge is a really good movie. And then we got the Bill Murray Scrooged, which is really funny.
I have never seen that one.
It's like a parody of the Scrooge story. It's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the Disney one. That's a good one too. With Donald Duck and Scrooge McDuck or whatever.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Oh yeah.
That's a really good one too. I remember that one. Where Mickey Mouse is like the protagonist essentially. No, I guess not the protagonist, but like the I forget the character's name, but I haven't seen this thing in so long. I clearly need to go watch it again.
Guys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to run and take care of a couple of things real quick. I just thought I'd drop in and hang out a little bit. It's nice meeting y'all.
Yeah.
Me too.
Y'all have a good time. I'll see you next time.
Bye, Eric.
So what's up?
What's your favorite Christmas movie, Wesley?
I like The Christmas Story.
Yeah.
And I like The Christmas Story Live. I'll watch that on Christmas Eve probably.
Yeah.
That's a great one too. I didn't get to see that one till I was much older though, unfortunately. But I'll never forget the first time I saw the kid who was like overdressed walking. Because again, I'm Canadian, so like that's a real thing I saw a lot of.
Oh yeah.
And then the kid licking the friggin' post, like I've seen that. So like, yeah.
Well,
and then
I
might have been the first time I ever saw a kid swear in a movie too, because I was like, whoa.
Fudge.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you, and it's a very hard question, but hopefully it's a teaching question as well. If I offered you $32,523, $32,523
U.S. funds?
No. Islam funds.
Okay.
And to get that money, you would have to do these things. You'd have to have a handheld laser placed to your wrist, burning a barcode into it. And then you would get gray scabs on your faces. And then there wouldn't be anything to buy with the money. And then you'd fall dead in the street. Would you take the money?
That's a hard question.
Say it was called the Omni Bar.
There's clearly a trap door somewhere here, but right now, as you present this question, this is not a hard question. None of us would take that money.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, what was that all about?
And if you can't buy anything with the money, is it really money?
It's even more, yeah. Even if we could buy something with the money
and have the same amount.
The money is going to fail. It shall fail. That money is the city of Babylon. It's going to happen to you. It's going to be made a law that you can't walk into a store if you don't have the branded barcode Omni Bar under the Trump administration. It's going to happen.
Who's shopping at stores?
I
thought the brick and mortar model.
They've been saying that ever since Social Security numbers came out, and it hasn't happened. So
can I hang out with the lingerie in the store?
Right.
Or do I have to?
The barcodes are numbers to the computer scan.
No, we understand how barcodes work.
Yeah.
But...
So each of personal Omnibar branded barcode will have your personal Omni ID, and there's another number in that barcode.
So
six will
you're
be-
making the claim that this is what's going to happen under a Trump administration. Where did the Islam dollars come from then?
All right. For 50 years, America's been buying gas from Saudi Arabia. They have bank
Gas or oil? Because they don't actually buy
to
gas;
fill
they
your
buy oil.
oil to fill your cars. There are unknown to the finance world. They have stores of enough money to give everyone on Earth $32,000. That's how
Okay.
much they have. They're pulling in 2 or 3 billion a week.
And you think that people are going to like cash in that $32,000 in exchange for a barcode on their wrist? Like, I'll take my cut of your oil now. And
Yeah, what I think is going to happen is there's going to be a real genius, but very evil guy. And he's going to convince those Saudi Arabian banks to spread Islam, to do something that people will think is good, to spread Islam and to make a one world economy, to give everyone $32,523 that takes the Omnibar, the mark of the beast. He's going to convince them to do that. And he's going to convince them he is God. He's going to convince them that he is the God that wrote the Quran, that created everything. He's a
so we get Muslim Jesus.
Yeah, he's a real evil guy. He's a
and
not listener.
You think that 300 plus million Americans are going to be like just lining up to get the barcode put on without any fuss?
I mean, if that was a possibility, you underestimate how much Americans would do for a pittance amount of money.
Right. There's a lot of young kids that would do it just like that, from what I have asked. But yeah, I think there's going to be an economic hardship upon America. There's not going to be a Huntington, West Virginia. There's not going to be a Washington, D.C. or a New York City. And everyone in Chicago is going to be evacuated from radiation from a...
What do you know about Huntington, West Virginia, Wes?
I live there now.
Oh, well.
And I was in
real close to me.
And you're going to abolish it now that you live there? Just like, I'm done.
I lived in Chicago most of my life.
Oh, is that why Chicago's going then?
I personally I didn't see this in a dream or vision. I personally met 4 engineers and saw their device, green Volvo station wagon, that they are building a nuclear bomb in, and they plan on detonating it in Chicago, in the Twin Marina.
Let's switch gears from that. I don't want to go there.
So anyway,
so what? Hold on, no. I was gonna.
Hold on.
I was
Wesley,
gonna read. I understand, Joe. I was gonna redirect.
He's not gone. He's
I
not
know.
gone.
I see him.
Wesley, we can't talk about that kind of stuff. You were fine until you got to talking about the B words and stuff. We're not.
Yeah, let's not do there. Let me redirect you quick.
Hold
on, Wes. Hold on.
The economic hardship
Wes,
is going to cause that.
Wes, we're gonna let you talk. Let me drive for a minute, okay? Because now I'm really curious. What about me as a Canadian? What happens to me now? Because our cars run on maple syrup. So do Canadians also get a $32,000 Saudi dollar amount? And do I have to get a barcode?
Without a Washington, D.C. sending government checks, without a New York managing truck shipping lines through America, the economic damage will be extensive and permanent, and it will extend its tentacles to other nations. The economic hardship that falls America, and Moscow is going to be gone that day.
Are you suggesting that no nation can sustain itself if America falls?
I'm just suggesting that the damage caused by it is going to be vast.
Agreed. If America were to be just Control-Alt-Deleted tomorrow, everyone would feel it.
Well,
but do you think the rest of the countries would just fall like dominoes if America fell?
Well, I don't think they would fall, but I think that if the American economy crashes suddenly, it definitely could put the entire world into a worldwide depression again, like we saw in the 30s.
No, I don't believe the economic damage to America would cause that to other nations. But I also believe that the corrupt politicians and financiers are going to say it will and use that propaganda and PR to install the Omni bar. So no, I don't believe that kind of damage is going to be so severe that we can't overcome it. But
So
the
are
PR
you
is going to say different.
are you in full support of this new world order, or are you here to warn against it? Okay.
Hell no.
So Wesley, what do we do? Do we move to West Virginia with you and like put up some walls, or what?
Here's what I'm going to do. I don't know what you're
Now,
going to
before you tell us, let's try to avoid about any discussions of people getting harmed or whatever.
Sure,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to publicly say, fellas, the reality is I wasn't baptized. I saw my soul. It was dead ashes from head to toe. I wasn't washed in the blood, but I saw a pearl in my belly, a Holy Spirit, and in that pearl is these words. You know, I failed you when I'm double-tongued and double-hearted and double-minded. I have been that way. I've spoken ill and snaky words behind people's back. And then if they ask me what I'd said, I go, I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not understanding, Wesley.
Sure.
How is this a solution to anything?
You
I
got
feel
it.
like mushrooms have suddenly been introduced into the conversation.
Right. Saudis are coming with big checks
And when
to give us in exchange for our freedoms.
I'm going to say, I failed you like two creatures in a dream from Jesus, one cutting off a guy's foot and the other smiling, and neither one saying anything. I've been failing Jesus, not believing in his forgiveness, like a foot that didn't bleed when it got
Okay.
cut off. When I
Can we just say
pearl
no?
of light will go to my tongue, and when I say, Jesus, can I have some fish and bread? The angels of Jesus will DoorDash fish and bread to me.
All right,
without the
Wesley. So my question now, let me try this again. Is no an option, or is this a resistance is futile situation?
The Omnibar is going to be law, and you won't be allowed to even walk into a grocery store to buy food with your money unless you have that brand. There will be military,
So
all
what
of
about
your
Amazon?
stores.
Will I need that Omnibar to order stuff on Amazon?
I can only guess that those code numbers in your barcode will be something you can type into your computer.
Okay, so
but the thing is, it's going to be a lot of martial law.
So Jeff Bezos
getting delivery of products is
right.
not going to
So
be
now Jeff Bezos is going to be like, "Oh, you're going to give me $32,000, and so I'll let you put a barcode on my wrist, and I'll adjust my entire platform to like will only allow people with those barcodes to shop." So this idea here also seems to hinge very strongly, as well as for people who are like completely shopping is a way of life, and without it, they would die. Is it not possible for some group of people to just say, we're good. You guys go do your Omnibar thing. We're just going to go plant some seeds and grow some corn and we'll be fine.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Is that an option?
Yeah. Probably not.
Okay.
Well, no, they'll just call you beatniks and shoot you and leave you in the gutter.
Probably the two candlesticks, Moses and Elijah at the Wailing Wall, will say the vision and pray to Jesus that no seed grow from the ground.
So you're saying
I'm saying Jesus
I won't be able to grow anything.
Corn growth. That when you try to grow food, Jesus is going to stop allowing it to grow.
So Jesus, God, the Bible, Christianity is in full support of Islam buying everyone's freedom with $32,000 worth of oil money.
Here's a hard fact. All the ministers in every synagogue and church on earth at this time, all of them deny and reject that Jesus appeared to them and said, tell the vision. They do not believe Jesus is God. They believe that they are
DMT.
and are seeking money. And most of those ministers are going to call for you to get branded with the
He
omnibus.
did.
Say it's a blessing from Jesus. It is not.
There's some mescaline, bit of cactus.
He did.
That's what the false ministers are going to tell you. They're going to say the Omnibar is good. It's a blessing, a miracle from God. Take it.
And will this affect all sapiens, Bigfoot included?
It's going to affect half brains
Yes.
like me.
Easy, Justin, easy.
But look, when it comes to the Bible, the reality of it is I don't have all the answers. I'm a little bit
it sounds like you do.
I'm a little bit like the guy in the pit missing half his
Well,
brain.
it will affect Bigfoot. Bigfoot will
Wesley,
no longer be able to walk into a grocery store and get his beef jerky.
If you
don't have
What
the
kind of
answers.
world is that? That's not a world I want to live in.
You're reminding me
No.
of the situation here of like the classic guy where the steamroller is coming at him from 50 yards away, but he doesn't have enough brains to get out of the way. Like you're identifying all of the problems for us, but you don't have the solution. Like the solution is just get out of the way.
Well, Jesus told you the solution. Tell the vision, and you shall not eat the wine.
Well, like you told us that Chicago was going to have some terrible things happen and that West Virginia was going to cease to exist. You moved from Chicago to West Virginia. You knew that. Why did you just get out in front of one steamroller in front of another one? Why didn't you go to a state that was going to be okay?
He's bringing the devil to all these places.
I have a hard fate, a fate that is set that I cannot change.
Oh, okay. So those of us who don't have a hard faith will be fine.
I don't think anyone's going to be fine after that thing happens in Chicago. That thing in Chicago, I think it's that wheel in the middle of
this was entertaining and fun.
I wanted to kind of give you a heads up. So
thanks for the heads up.
Very gracious.
You gave us heads up last year too about the world ending in April, didn't you?
So
wasn't that you? Wasn't that you last year saying that the world was going to come to an end in April?
Look, I'm not an I told you so kind of guy.
Well, you wouldn't have an ability to I told you so right now, would you?
I'll visit you and I'll do what I can do to help you.
Well, we appreciate it, Wes.
All right.
Have a good holiday, and when the sirens ring, hide under your desk, man.
Don't stick your tongue to a frozen telephone pole.
All right. Telephone poles are wood. They don't freeze. It's just metal pipes.
I hope you do have a minute. Thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that was...
Well, that happened.
That happened.
Yeah. Well, Wes has been trying to he tries to come on shows all the time and stuff. He's been blocked from here a few times.
He was the one from last year that was trying to warn us all.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He started with the "You've had this dream, you've seen 10,000 times," and blah blah blah. But he he obviously wants to go talk to people, and he gets ran off a lot. So as long as he could keep it from being violent, I was just going to let him, talk a little bit.
See, I've never heard of him before, so I didn't know if he was just trolling or something.
Yeah,
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
I saw the name. I didn't recognize the rest of the name, but I saw the Wesley, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Instantly, I was like, oh shit, Joe let this guy up. And I'm like, wait, maybe it's not the same guy. And then right away it was like, when I asked him what currency the $32,000 would be, and he went Islam, I went, okay, I get it. It's that Wesley. And that's when I was like, let me drive now, because I know if we just let you just, drive with your eyes closed, we're going to get into weird shit.
Yeah. He's sometimes he's more coherent than others, but he's, as long as he's not actively being harmful, I don't care to let him talk for a minute.
He sounded like a few rambling hippies I've known, to be honest.
Well, I didn't know he was in Huntington, West Virginia, which is the next town over from me. He's literally 5 minutes from me.
Did
the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, Joe?
A little bit.
Pants went off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That's why I was like, "What do you know about Huntington, West Virginia?" I was like, "Oh."
I was playing Balatro for like most of this live stream since I've been on here, and then when Wesley popped in, it's like I haven't even touched it. I'm just like, wait a minute, this is great.
Yeah, well, I just let him. I think it probably made him happy. So.
I mean, it's for the few interactions I've known of Wesley, that was an all right one.
That one was pretty tame.
Didn't overstay, and
Yeah.
managed to keep him from getting too.
He almost had us breaking out in song, didn't he, Zach?
Yeah.
Zach was writing a song as he was talking. He's like, "Holy shit, what's it?" I need some notes on this motherfucker.
It's a shame that I won't be able to grow any corn. I like corn.
Yeah. In Canada.
Yeah. I mean, Canada does good corn.
Like I said, ever since Social Security numbers came out, they've been saying, "See, there it is. You're not going to be able to buy or sell anything unless you have a Social Security number tattooed on your forehead." It's like, yeah, well, that didn't happen. And then credit card numbers. See, there it is. You're not going to be able to do anything without this or that. And
That's what I was
wanted
thinking about the barcode thing.
Wait, what? You mean I didn't have to have all the credit card numbers tattooed on my arm?
no, you got duped.
I mean, I'm this close. Like, if it wasn't for like Costco at this day, I'm this close from like never walking into another grocery store again. Frankly, like you can place your Walmart grocery order and just go pull up. You don't even have to get out of your car. They load your car.
I don't even go there. They bring it to me. So
yeah. And if you've never tried it or done it before, I don't know if they still do it, but your first like 2 orders, you get like $75 of free groceries or something.
Except I've heard of a lot of stores, especially Walmart's, that's how they'll unload all their crappy produce.
That's all right. Luckily, I don't eat a lot of fruit and veggies. Non-concerned.
I haven't had that experience, but I live in a smaller area, so it may not be like that.
There's
without doxing the store that my son works at, they do make effort to have good stuff out. So
there's a store chain here in Canada that's pretty similar to like a Walmart, called Canadian Tire, and they also have to like drive up and just get loaded, and theirs is even indoors. So like you drive into a garage, they load you up, and you drive out the other side like a quick lube oil change type place. It's super.
Drive up and get loaded sounds like a bad idea to drive home.
In Canada, you got to take your driving test while loaded, so it's fine.
we got a drive-through beer dock over here. You can go through, get your pop, cigarettes, chips, and everything, and
Minnesota has
your
drive-in liquor stores all over the place.
Yeah,
it's not just beer. You can drive in and you can buy hard liquor.
Hark, I spotted Jimmy Talks. How are you, Jimmy?
Hey, good evening.
Hello,
good
Jimmy.
afternoon, all. Hi, Dave. I do remember drive-through liquor stores in Ohio when I was a kid.
Yep.
I do remember it.
Don't drink and drive. Just drive through to get your drinks.
I lived in the Bryan, Ohio area when I was a kid.
Hey, a great recent addition. As of 2018, you can now buy booze on Sundays in Minnesota.
Woohoo!
Kentucky was right a few years before that.
This year, 2024, you can now buy beer at grocery stores and convenience stores in my province. You couldn't before.
Oh yeah, we've had that. You could buy beer through most grocery stores, but just the idea that it took them so long to get around to saying it was okay for the liquor stores to be open on Sundays.
Yeah.
It's funny that hearing all this stuff living in Britain. Over here, drinking is like a right. So the idea that you wouldn't be able to like buy beer 24 hours a day is insane.
Well,
I went into the store one day and we were going somewhere and I was going to grab a 6-pack to take with us, and I was like, oh crap! I was like, what time is it? Can I buy this? And they said, oh, they don't have that law anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, because up until recently, Sundays. A certain time Saturday night, and then a certain time Saturday. It was like 1 or 2 in the afternoon or whatever. Yeah, you weren't allowed to sell alcohol. So, but I guess it's not that anymore. So I learned something. Nobody informed me. I didn't get a letter in the mail or anything. But you couldn't. No. Yeah, they couldn't buy it. Well, that was one of our leftovers from
here to buy it on Sunday. it became a major campaign event because they put it on the ballot as a public referendum. So you can bet that really drove up voter turnout for that one election.
Somebody was just talking earlier on a stream how things used to be shut down on Sunday, and it's like I remember.
Yep.
I heard it on the radio today. Or is someone talking about remember when in Canada, anyways, it was illegal to be open selling anything on Sundays. Couldn't sell stuff on Sundays.
It was
period.
It was
Not even alcohol,
like Christmas.
Like
yeah, it was like Christmas. There would be a few gas stations and a few corner stores open, but yeah, everybody else is shut down. The one year we were like, we're just going to order pizza for Christmas. We're just fuck it. Forget cooking everything and all that. And then we realized, oh shit, the pizza places aren't open on Christmas.
Well, it was like 2010 or 2012 that 7-Eleven stores decided for the first time that they were going to be closed on Christmas Day. And it was at that point that they realized that something like 20% of their stores had no way to lock the front door.
Yeah.
That they had actually built the stores without installing locks because they were never supposed to be closed.
The one they put in my neighborhood wasn't open at night anymore because they got robbed, and sadly it turned really, really bad. And so they cut the 24 hours. So we didn't have a 24-hour 7-Eleven. We had a daily operations 7-Eleven.
What I missed was that in Minnesota they actually did a pilot project of having 3 Home Depots that were open 24 hours. And with the hours I keep, that was great for me that I could go and get the parts at 2 o'clock in the morning and work on a project.
Yeah, it's always great for someone, but yeah, is it enough to keep open for?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi.
So, Christmas tree or no Christmas tree?
Yeah, I heard this conversation earlier. The missus puts up a Christmas tree about Thanksgiving, somewhere between the Sunday before and the Thursday of Thanksgiving. Sometimes she puts the Christmas tree up after Thanksgiving, but that week, roughly, the Christmas tree goes up. Christmas decorations go up on the outside the Sunday before Thanksgiving. I used to protest this until I was in the UK, and I saw specifically in the UK, they put Christmas up around the first week of November, roughly.
Oh, okay.
Heavily decorated in Covent Garden, for instance, first week of Thanksgiving. So the missus is very Christmas maintained. And then I heard Purple say that it goes up till Epiphany. We usually take the Christmas tree down around the 1st or 2nd. Christmas lights will stay up until Epiphany area, and then we leave all the clear lights that are non-Christmas oriented, and we put in winter berries to anything that's non-Christmas oriented.
Well,
Winterfest. We keep Winterfest decorations up until roughly spring.
Outdoor Christmas lights stay up until April. Because until then, it's just not safe to be on a ladder.
It's just
because
nice.
up through February, everything's going to be covered with ice, and then March you'll set up a 12-foot ladder, and by the time you've climbed to the top, it's sunk in, so it's only a 7-foot ladder.
We like the lights up through New Year's, just because for the celebratory, you still got the lights up, but after that it's weather. So if it's a decent day and it's semi thawed out, let's go. And yep, that's the day we bring the lights in. So Mother Nature dictates, because like you said, trying to bring it in when it's all covered with snow and ice is forget it. Just forget it. Don't even bother.
Well, I mean, just if you've got snow clumping up in the treads of your boots and you try to climb a ladder, that's just not a good idea.
Nope.
1 foot slip when you're, 6 or 7 feet up, and it's an ER visit at least.
The irony of that statement is in Canada, there would still be snow on the ground in April.
Yeah, well,
We're-
there usually is in Minnesota too, but you
Yeah.
know,
Well,
in-
depends.
in Minnesota,
a
you're
band.
you're further north than I am, actually.
We're in a band here with the change in the climate, and we have not gotten hardly any snow for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I lived here my whole life. There was always snow, and of course, I did buy a snow thrower, so it might have been my fault for buying a snow thrower. But best investment I ever made, if so.
Well, this is the 4th winter I've been back in Minnesota, and I have been severely disappointed because these 4 years in a row, we have been more than a foot below the 30-year average every winter.
Yeah.
And
all we've been getting is flurries. That's all we've been getting.
It was just 2 days ago that we finally got enough snow that I can't see the grass.
Yeah.
And now we're going to have a whole week that's going to get above freezing again. It's all going to melt off.
We're supposed to be around 50 Fahrenheit all week, so it'll be a green Christmas.
Yeah, ours is going to be in the 30s. I think we hit the low 40s a couple of days, but you know, so I mean, it's like borderline, but that means that any place that the sun hits, it's just going to melt down.
The last few years, all we've done is throw a little salt on the steps, just for some freezing rain type issue or whatever.
Yeah.
But no shoveling, no brushing off the cars or anything. It's really, really weird.
And what the people here still can't grasp is that, yes, we're supposed to get 3 feet of snow. No, we're supposed to get 3 feet of snow through the winter. And they keep saying it's great that we got so little snow and it's so little problem. And they're not connecting that to the fact that this is why we've got a drought every year in July.
Yeah.
That if we don't have the snow melting in the spring to refill the aquifers, there isn't enough water to get us through the summer.
But it's even more than that too. Like if the birds, for example, don't fly far enough south because of the weather, then they stay and then they pollute your waters on top of that. So when you've got shallow waters with lots of like bird poop in your waters and stuff, then things can get real dangerous that way as well. It happened to us here. It happened to us here in Canada, a couple of towns with their small reservoirs that everyone in town would get sick.
Well, Minnesota is littered with small lakes, and one of the things we get with that is this bacteria that will get in and eat your brain.
Jeez.
RFK
got
Jr.
already done gotten in and eaten mine.
Hey, where are we at on daylight savings? Are we done with it yet or what?
I wish.
I grew up in Indiana for the most part.
It's almost dark here.
And experienced life without it. And I would suggest you don't need it. I live in Chicago now where we have it.
Yeah.
The fall time one, in my opinion, is just ridiculous.
Your audio is in and out there, Jimmy. I'm not sure why.
It's awful. I would rather have the
you
little more light in the evening. It's just
I'll fix it.
Yeah, 8-9 o'clock at night. You're thinking, Jesus, time for bed. It's just your biorhythm gets all screwed up. It's just stupid.
Well, and just the thing with it getting dark so early, while it's still afternoon, most people wind up driving home from work in the darkness.
Yeah.
And that's got increased traffic accidents.
Zach, you don't observe daylight saving over there, correct?
No, Britain's got it. Yeah, we just don't. We have it has different dates than it does over there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it has different dates over there, and it keeps screwing me up because it's like from most of the year.
Knock it
most
off.
of the year, I'm 6 hours off of London.
Yeah.
For like 2 weeks, I'm 7 hours off of London.
Why the hell are you keeping track of the time in London?
To do streams with Zach.
GMT time.
Mark Reed and I, so if anyone doesn't know, Mark Reed's in Australia, we were doing live streaming our gameplay of a game called Baldur's Gate 3. We started in March. We just finished a couple weeks ago. We finished the game. And when daylight savings hit, I didn't know Australia didn't observe it. So, and for Mark and I to live stream, I have to get up at 7 a.m. for Mark to stream with me at 7 p.m. But then when daylight savings happened, Mark was waiting for me to come play, and I was an hour late. Don't keep Mark Reed waiting for an hour.
That's funny.
And then he had no idea. He was like, "What the hell?" And I'm just like, "What do you mean? It's our normal time. This is when we're gonna start and everything." He's like, "No, I was 12 hours ahead of you. Now I'm 13 hours ahead. What happened?" I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, right, daylight savings happened." And he goes, "You guys are stupid."
We met
some
each other in the
parts of
middle when I
Australia
had him on.
observe
Yeah.
Yep. Some parts of Australia observe it, and what's even worse is that some parts of Australia are off by half an hour instead of a full hour.
Newfoundland does that in Canada. Newfoundland's a half hour off. and that's why we tease Newfoundland.
I think we should just split the difference and just take 30 minutes, and then that's the adjustment for everybody.
Why don't
just
we
leave it there?
This spring, let's just do it one last time, okay? We're going to do daylight savings one last time. And this time, we're going to spring ahead to 2028. Sound good? We all agree?
Well, and
Actually,
there was
I know the
actually a
reason.
thing in the U.S. Congress in
I guess 2029.
2023.
I should be 2029. We'll spring ahead to 2029.
We'll all cuddle up in a nice big nest and just sleep it off.
In the U.S. Congress in 2023, there was a bill to eliminate daylight savings time.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still it's just on the stack.
Well,
I believe.
Yeah, because the
It's talked about
Republicans,
every year. Yeah, every year they talk about it, and we're gonna just sits
Even
well, the Republicans refused to vote on it because they thought it would be seen as a win for the Democrats.
Yeah, so now that Trump is going to be president, Trump was just tweeting that, like, let's get rid of it. So it's just another one of those things that Trump probably squashed in the background so that he'll forever be remembered as the guy who got rid of daylight savings.
Saved us from daylight savings time.
Well, we are allowed to say Merry Christmas again because of Trump, so we owe him a debt of
I don't
gratitude.
remember it not being illegal.
Did you watch Fox News like 20 years ago to present day?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mainly. I didn't know that there was a war on Christmas. I had to hear from the news.
Yeah.
Well, who was the dude? Who was the dude with the beard that had the cow about the red Starbucks cups or whatever?
Wasn't that Glenn Beck?
Fierstein.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Fierstein, someone. He's the one.
Motherfucker.
He was everywhere stirring everybody up about that nonsense. That was his 15 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't like everyone made it this whole, like, it's against Christmas. And it's about, don't forget, there's other things going on for other people and other celebrations and stuff. It's
What are you on
an
about?
inclusive thing, not an anti-Christmas thing.
What are you on about? That's the only thing going. It's the only thing allowed.
And the whole thing was the whole war on Christmas, that they said the government was outlawing Christmas. The government never had anything to do with it.
Yeah, but
it was just the big box stores decided that saying Happy Holidays
it's
would
marketing.
prevent them from disenfranchising people who weren't Christian.
And bravo.
And the song Happy Holidays, we looked it up last night, 1942.
Yeah.
They were wishing people happy holidays. So it's nothing new.
My in-laws are all Indian, from India. And they still say Merry Christmas when everyone shows up to their house and they party hard. To them, it's just like everything's closed. It's a holiday. That means we just party.
Be honest, Justin.
Okay.
Do they say Merry Christmas or do they bounce a few vowels when they say Merry Christmas?
Nope. No, their dialect is very, very good.
It's very
Canada,
good.
but they got the spring neck. I love it.
Well,
when Simran goes, like, so sometimes Simran will go and I'll stay home and I won't go. And you guys have probably all experienced this. If you go spend any time, like if we were to all go to Zach's house for a month and then come home, we would start using like British words a little bit more.
We'd all be having a pint.
Yeah. Exactly.
If I go and spend just a weekend down by Joe with my family, who's from all around that Ohio, Kentucky, primarily, I'll come back and not be able to say food properly. Just the word food. Be like,
We don't talk funny down here. What are you talking
No,
about?
you don't talk funny. You just change the way I talk.
If I ended up in that area for any amount of time, I'd be doing a southern accent for just forever. Because
Yeah.
it's fun enough
So-
to do as it is. I you know what I mean?
Yeah. So when Simran goes home for a couple days or whatever, and I don't go with her, especially when she comes back, she can't stop. She just for the next week she'll be doing this when she talks. She'll be like, "Oh, are you hungry?"
And Jimmy was in Bryan, Ohio. We was neighbors for a while, so
Yeah.
we talked the same.
Nope.
We understand each other. We don't understand the rest of you.
I learned
funny
I
accents.
learned to talk in the same area as, without a doubt.
Yep.
I was stuck in Upper Michigan for 5 years. And no, I absolutely refused to talk like a Youper. I was not allowing any of that to happen.
Like a what?
A
A
Youper.
Youper.
What's that?
Upper
Person
Peninsula.
from the
It's
Upper
a
Peninsula.
affectionate term for Upper Peninsula, Michigan.
Okay.
I mean, I sound
Sault
all
Ste.
weird
Marie
and British,
area.
but I'm certainly happy I don't have like the thick Maine accent that I used to.
Yeah.
Saying yeah after everything, you know what I mean?
Well, when I lived in New York, I did lose my Minnesota accent, and I'm wondering how long it's going to take me to get that back. Because when I first moved to New York, I had such a thick Minnesota accent, they all thought I was Canadian.
I had a grandmother that would end every sentence with "you know," and sure enough, we would all come home and we would start ending sentence with "you know." Well, stop that.
Yeah, sure, you
you want
betcha.
to you want to see weird accents? When you guys get a chance, like go Google a Newfoundland accent.
Oh yeah,
It's the
Okay.
most unrecognizable English you'll ever hear in your
yeah,
life.
but it's like right next door to Maine. We all spoke weird. That little corner of the world all has the weirdest accent.
Have you
Well, that's
heard
because you let
Scottish?
the bloody French in there.
Have you heard Scottish?
Yeah, I've heard Scottish.
It's pretty
Not
rough.
weird.
It's pretty rough.
I still think that Newfoundland has got some of the hardest to understand English.
Oh, totally. We used to get loads of people coming in from that part of Canada all the fucking time. Like, man, when you get a person with a thick Maine accent arguing with a person with a thick Newfoundland accent, that shit is ununderstandable at all.
It's like one long word, right?
Yeah.
Like, when they talk, it's 18 syllables with no
Okay.
pause in between each
Hey,
word.
don't forget, in the United States, we have the gator hunters down south that they put subtitles on the TV for.
Yeah, I don't know.
We put subtitles for the Newfoundlanders here too. We just put question marks. 'Cause-
I don't know
I needed subtitles for Wes, if I remember correctly.
if any of you guys remember Taddy Boggle.
Who?
Taddy Boggle. He was on some of the debunker shows a few years back. Yeah,
Nope.
he had such a thick Scottish accent that I used to love watching the shows when he was on just to see what the captioning would try to make of him talking.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Speaking of that, go ahead, Zach.
Oh, sorry. You want some messed up accents now? You've got to look at some of the backwaters of Britain, man. Britain has some fucked up accents. Geordie accent from Newcastle. If you don't know anyone from Newcastle, that is a near ununderstandable fucking language. The West Country's like that as well.
I'm an Aussie fan.
fucking
I'm an
Scouse.
Aussie
Yeah, you want to
fan.
listen to some Scouse. Don't listen to like the Beatles version of Scouse. Listen to like, poor chavvy Scouse. Oh, it's all right, mate. Fuck that. You can't understand anything they say because everything they say is like or like a thick R sound, and it's horrific.
I'm an Ozzy fan, and I can tell you every word to every one of his songs. But when he's talking, I'm like, "Damn, Ozzy, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, brother."
Yeah, Brummy's man. Yeah, Brummy. Go to over
And he was good, and I was, it was good. And it's like, okay, Ozzy, whatever you say, man, rock on, man.
Like a northern accent over here, so like a Yorkshire one or something. They just take out so many letters when they talk
It is
words,
and there's no periods or commas.
Completely new ones, and they go, "Why don't you understand what the fuck I'm saying?" It's 15 words put together. It's only got 3 syllables and 4 letters,
And it's
like, okay,
and it's a 500-word sentence because they just keep going on with it, and it's just and I was and it just keeps, and you're like, man, that's amazing that you can move your mouth that fast. And I still
Well-
can't understand you.
Welsh is like that as well.
How true is the accent that Brad Pitt performs in the movie Snatch?
What is like? What is it? No, as like what? As a fucking as a pikey?
Yeah, Pikey.
It's not great. It's funny, but it's not. It's not. It's one of them. Pikeys are more Irish, really.
Yeah.
Like they're all Irish. You know what I mean? And it's thick Irish accents.
Well, even across the state, you go to
Channing Tatum's accent for Gambit in the Wolverine Deadpool movie was the perfect shit show. It's like the best bad Cajun accent ever.
It was.
you go across Ohio, and Ohio's bigger than people think, but you know, we're Ohio, all right? You go down past Columbus, you get in the southern half, and it's Ohio. So, yeah, three hours away, and the dialect is
Ohio's
really
bigger
different.
than people think, and we all wish it was a lot smaller.
Britain, man, is because it's so fucking old, and everywhere, like all the towns now are like 15 towns that like grew into each other. So you go like 2 roads down, and they're speaking a completely different fucking accent. It's mental. I live in a town that only has about 150,000, 200,000 people in it. There's 10 accents in this town. 10 very different accents. It's mental.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, in Britain, you've got another accent every 10 miles.
You got an accent. You got a different accent every few streets. It's like you can tell specifically what part of a town someone's from by how they talk. It's that varied.
Yeah, I've heard that you could even tell, like, you could almost pinpoint their address. Some people are like,
yeah,
I know which house you lived in.
You're from this street because it's fucking mental. Yeah.
I don't know. It's not meant. I think it's pretty cool, actually. But
no, it is. But like the thing is, right? I'm from Maine, and Maine's like the size of Britain, and it has nobody in it, and everybody had one accent. And then I come over here, and I'm like, everyone speaks differently, all in the same place, and they've all lived together for the same amount of time. And it's like sometimes it's like a TV show where they've just got people from everywhere and just gone. It doesn't matter that none of them sound the same. It's just what it's like walking around the street.
You can pretty much pick what state somebody grew up in, or at least pretty close, because of the accents and the slang and everything.
In Canada, it's pretty much like you can tell if someone's from Quebec, Newfoundland. After that, you wouldn't even really know.
Well, that's like, do you guys get a sub, a hoagie, or a grinder?
Sub. Yeah.
That's what we call them, as subs.
In fact, the sub shop is called Mr. Sub.
Yep. Yep. Other places, though, it's a grinder, it's a hoagie. They've got other names, too.
Yeah. A hero, isn't that another word for it?
A hero, yep.
Yeah.
And if you go far down south, everything's a po' boy. Everything you put on a sandwich is a po' boy.
In Eastern Canada at McDonald's, you can get a McLobster.
Nice.
Yeah, you could get that in Maine. That was yeah.
I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Fucking, I remember Maine used to have like McDonald's restaurants where it was like an actual restaurant for McDonald's, not like a fast food place. Like you go in, you make reservations, you sit down at a table, the waiter comes over, says, "What do you want?" You say, "I'll have a Big Mac."
They have one.
Like Demolition Man,
like in a picture on a plate.
Demolition Man.
Stonehurst. There's one in New York. Yeah, there's one in New York that does that. Yeah, you sit down with cloth napkins and everything and have McDonald's. Yeah.
Emma.
Like Demolition Man with the Taco Bell that won the franchise wars. Yeah. Oh, I was actually on my Discord the other day. I had some Wendy's. I ordered some Wendy's for lunch, and I was like, I sent a picture of my Wendy's poutine to my Discord, and they all was like, "What?" Like Wendy's has poutine in Canada. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that's not all. I then sent a picture of a KFC poutine that has popcorn chicken in it. And they were just like, that's it, I'm moving. They're like, screw America.
The pub that I purposely go to here locally is
as opposed to the one you go by accident?
I don't know very many places that have poutine on the menu, but the one that I do know, they have shredded pork in it, and it's an appetizer. And I mean to tell you, it's good enough for 2 people to have a full meal on.
Yeah, there's a chain here called the Poutineery. and they make a Thanksgiving poutine, so it has like
What?
peas and stuffing and cranberry sauce. There's a popular one is an Italian poutine, so instead of the regular gravy,
Nice.
they put marinara sauce on it instead.
I'm f-
Like there's all kinds of variations of the poutine.
I'm so
I
fucking
almost
stoked. I'm
ordered
starting to open
fresh
Tim
beef
Hortons
burger.
over here. I can finally get some fucking poutine. I've not had any in years.
The walk to my local pub is 10 minutes. The walk home is 45 minutes. The difference is staggering.
That was
very-
wonderful.
That
That
sounds
was
like a Henny Youngman.
That's one of Sloth Girl's jokes.
that's almost a holiday nursery rhyme right there. That just made my day. Yeah.
Sounds-
And there's an Ontario poutine. So instead of the cheese curds, you just shred mozzarella. Well, you just call that an Ontario poutine.
Yum.
But the Ontario poutine, you gotta add ketchup for some reason. I don't know what it is. Something about a shredded mozzarella instead of the cheese curds. Put a little ketchup in there. It's just way better. But yeah, all the fast food chains in Canada, there's a poutine. Our Burger Kings have poutines. Arby's poutines, like curly fry poutine. Yeah, we got that. No problem.
Nice.
I can't wait to try British poutine. It's going to be very bland.
And probably wet.
Yeah.
Everything's boiled.
Everything's
I love-
boiled.
I love it when British people get like American. They go, "We've got American style food or some shit," and it's just the same as other shit. They just put an American flag on it and went, "Look, it tastes better, doesn't it?" It's like, no, it's still British. It's still shit. Like, fuck off.
You gotta put
Okay,
seasoning on it. That makes it American.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and what they served me in New York as a Chicago-style pizza was like nothing I had ever seen in my life. So just even between areas of the country, they really don't have any clue as to, what we eat in other states.
Oh yeah.
What's
not
your
sure if-
favorite Chicago style?
Whatever
Pizza,
you
having
eat,
grown
we'll
up.
fry it here.
Yeah, I'm
The
not sure if
fried.
the chat's being real or not right now, but there's a bunch of people there that apparently don't know what a poutine is.
Geno's in Chicago and
yeah.
Geno's here in Toledo, both. It's
Yeah.
number
there's a
one
Geno's
pick.
in Toledo. Wow.
It's a award winner, and it's got its own unique thing. And if you're ever here, make sure you get a Geno's.
Great.
Yeah.
In Britain, when they say it's a Chicago style deep dish pizza, what they mean is the crust is slightly thicker on the pizza.
In the day, now they've remodeled and it's all new now. But in my day, you went in and it was just a tiny little thing, and then had a couple little tables in the back, and the same people are always sitting back there. And you went up to the really high counter thing, and you kind of looked up because they were raised up behind it, and they slid your pizza on this little ledge thing. It was almost like going to a knock-knock. And they still had the pizza ovens. And then everybody was brokenhearted because when they remodeled, they got the roll-throughs. But in the day, though, it was almost like going to a knock-knock. It was really
wow.
It was really odd getting pizza there, but it was the best. And they were open late too, so that was even better.
For anyone who honestly didn't really know what a poutine was, there's a McDonald's poutine.
Does it look like that in real life?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe not as full, but
Okay.
a poutine's a hot mess. It's just like beef gravy with cheese curds and fries. That's the
Yeah.
general
It
idea.
looks like shit, but it tastes amazing.
Yep. It's a bowl of cholesterol. That's what it is.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, Joe, I tried to post the link for the marathon, and I don't have a wrench here, so it didn't let me post links.
Okay. Just
Drop it in the private, Purple, and Joe can do it.
And there you go. The KFC popcorn chicken poutine.
Wow.
I just heard someone go,
Yeah, that was me.
No, I have an issue with messing up with the French fries. Leave the French fries alone.
Nah, is that
Sorry.
that KFC gravy with the fucking cheese? That's not low.
Zach knows what he's thought. Zach knows
Anthony
what
Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace, did an episode where he went in someplace and he said, "Oh, they have the best fries here," and he went on and on and on about French fries, and he says, the best French fries are the ones you don't do anything with. You bring them out, Just put a little salt on there. They're still sizzling, burning your mouth, and you're just like, oh, it's the perfect food. And I was like, thank you, Anthony Bourdain. Quit
And then
putting
if you
stuff
add
on the
cheese
French fries.
and gravy to it, and
Yeah.
just got elevated.
Yeah, it does. Just makes it better. It makes it better.
Like,
enjoy your feast. Enjoy your feast.
McDonald's French fries are probably some of the better, like, easy to get fries of all the fast food chains. For me,
They're terrible.
Like,
they ruined their fries. They're not anything what they used to be.
well, I mean, maybe they're a little different where you are compared to where I am or whatever, but they're still the best fast food French fries. Like, if I go to McDonald's, what I might order will vary, except I will be getting fries, right? Whereas, as Fist pointed out, KFC it's the gravy. Yeah, there you go. There's another type of poutine. Like, you can.
So that's the one. The last one that I had looked just like that.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with it.
It was fantastic. It's making me salivate just thinking about it.
To be honest, those look like sweet potato fries. Now, I wouldn't mind trying some poutine or sweet potato fries.
They were regular fries, but they were probably the fresh cut. They just took an Idaho potato, put it into that hammer, pull down hammer, and just fresh cut them, and then threw them right in the fryer.
We got a diner here that does that. It goes right into the basket and right into the fryer. It's like, oh yeah, that's how you do it.
Are you all familiar with A&W root beer?
Oh yeah.
We used to have the drive-ins here. Yeah.
Right. Well, we still do.
We have those here.
Ours are gone.
A&W fast food is a big chain here in Canada, and they serve sweet potato fries as an option.
We have like A&W and Long John Silver's is the same place.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, Long John's is another one that's disappeared too.
Tim Hortons and Wendy's is the same place here.
We used to have Long Johns everywhere, and now there's only one or two left here.
I wonder if that's why we're starting to get both Wendy's and
actually,
I'm excited for Wendy's.
A&W, Taco Bell, Long John Silver's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Pizza Hut
are all owned by the same company.
And you would always find all sorts of different combinations of those in the same building.
Yeah, we've got the KFC Taco Bells here too. Yeah,
we got KFC Taco Bell here too. Yeah. Just one of them though that I know of.
Yeah. You guys are weird putting up buildings in together. What's wrong with you guys?
It's awesome. Then we've got a Canadian chain combo as a Harvey's and a Swiss Chalet. So that would be like a Swiss Chalet is like a rotisserie chicken place. And Harvey's is actually arguably the best hamburger you'll ever get.
Interesting.
Keeping in mind, my ignorance begins with not understanding and knowing about the chains that are like In-N-Out Burger and like Sonic's and all of those other places. Don't know them. Never had them. They're not here.
We've got Sonic here.
KFC Taco Bell doesn't have the same menu as KFC or Taco Bell either.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's different from KFC or Taco Bell, either one. Yeah. Prices are different, food's different, everything's different.
We have had the TV advertisements for Sonic here, but there is still not a Sonic within the state.
They just put a Sonic in Ashland not too long ago. It sucks.
I usually get a slushie because the wife
Those are good.
Yeah, when my wife and son would be out running around, and then they would, hey, let's get a slushie. So they'd come home and we got you a slushie. It's like, sweet.
Just step outside today. The entire state is a slushie.
But they do have like a bazillion flavors. If you are looking for a flavor slushie that you want, Sonic probably has it. I will give it to him on that.
Do you guys know who the first fast food restaurant to enter space is?
Space.
Yeah.
Wendy's.
No.
Just a gas fucking.
I don't know.
No idea. I didn't even know anybody took any to space.
In 2001, Pizza Hut delivered a pizza to the International Space Station.
I was going to guess Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Cool.
So when Musk finally buys Mars, it'll probably be Pizza Hut opened up first. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, he's got his car out there waiting for the first drive-through to.
I actually, when I was in school doing my video game design degree, one of the projects I had to do was to model and animate a solar system. And that was around the same time that the car got launched, so I added the car to my solar system. But it was all to scale, so my teacher never saw it because it was way too small.
Nice touch.
Okay. Most people could probably guess that McDonald's opened the first drive-through, but do you know why?
Well,
Military,
Portillo's-
wasn't it?
The Portillo's here takes a claim to the drive-through,
Okay, but
but
yeah, McDonald's.
Question's still valid. Why
actually-
did McDonald's open a drive-through? I guess.
Yeah, it was the military base around Area 51
Yep.
that the soldiers were forbidden to get out of their vehicles while they were in uniform.
Yeah.
So they couldn't go into the restaurants, so they started handing the stuff out through the window to them.
Now that one I've heard of because that's my kind of stuff there. Yeah, I knew it had something to do with the military. Yeah.
You guys all seen the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
No.
Fascinating movie.
And there's one, I think there's one out there like in Malibu or somewhere or something where it's just sand. You know, you just walk right in off the beach and you go in and stuff.
Okay, well, I need to get going here. I've got
Yeah,
some
me too.
stuff to do,
I gotta
and
walk the
I've got to
dog
be
at
on
4.
later tonight. I'm going to be on Maya's show in about 4.5 hours.
Have fun.
Sweet. I'll be watching. Good luck, Rhymes with Purple.
Okay, we'll catch
Thanks,
you
Purple.
later. Bye-bye.
You know,
Yolanta?
I'm going to run away as well. So thanks for having me over here, Joe, and for everyone to hang out and play with me.
all right, Justin, good to see you.
Hi, in the business?
If I can plug real quick, on Friday, I got Aaron Rock coming over to Skeptic Spin, so
nice.
come check it out.
Cool.
Good
All
deal.
right.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. And then we're celebrating Pragmatic Crystal on the 30th, but you all knew that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's nice.
I heard about it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Or afternoon, or wherever you are.
I only came in because I didn't feel like I could follow up everybody who had been on before. But then when Wes came on, I was like, I can follow him.
Well, yeah, you can come anytime you want, Jimmy. You're welcome.
I know.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here.
Fair
The
enough.
show. Not my plans to get barcodes on my wrists.
We've been doing a Saturday show too, Tux. If you ever want to stop by, you're always welcome.
I'm always working Saturday. What time do you come on? Like
5
around
to 8.
4?
5 to 8.
4 o'clock my time.
Yep.
I'm always at work at that time on a
You
Saturday.
know, if it works out, you know.
I get the
Always.
notification and it's just always a whirlwind of activity going on and for the next
right
3
on.
hours.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, not everybody's got different schedules. So, but you know, if it works out sometime, yeah, stop by. I'll give you a link.
Sounds good. If I leave the car business, I will definitely be available for Saturday.
Well, if you have one of those great days where you move 50 first thing in the morning and you just take the rest of the day off, stop by and celebrate.
Dude, it takes me about 6 months to sell 50 cars.
Well, see, I'm rooting for you.
I
Though.
sell about 50 new cars a year
Hey,
and new BMWs. So
have you gotten your new one yet?
I did. I got it in July. It's a great little car. So
I remember seeing the pictures. It looked nice and sporty.
yeah, it's a sporty looking car.
With your little cap on, cruising down the highway. Yeah.
If I take a road trip by Toledo, I will definitely. And it's possible. I would like to make a trip to Cedar Point or something like that.
You come right through here if you do.
Yeah, we almost went to a hockey game on November 9th. I think it was November 8th or 9th in Toledo. And but that trip never matured. So
Yeah, if you're ever doing that, you can stop by for a pit stop and
yeah.
let
All
me
right,
know.
sounds good. I will. Zach, it was nice to see you.
Yeah, it's
Mike
good to
was
see you.
Mike was talking about maybe making a trip to what the hell is it? It's something just right there by Michigan, Indiana, Ohio line right there this summer. And I said, well, Mike, if you're going to be there, you're like maybe a half hour or so from me. So we'll hook up.
Oh,
so
wow.
maybe I'll have lunch with Mike this summer. We'll see.
All right.
All right. Anybody
Yeah, I
want to say
figured-
anything else?
I don't have anything to plug. I've got a video in my mind that I'm going to work on here probably after the first of the year. Yeah, that's about it.
Go check out my Christmas carols.
Yeah.
Check out the Christmas carols. And I got a Bigfoot song coming out for Christmas. And Purple was here, and Joe and I will be on Christmas Eve for Purple's marathon.
Yeah.
I'm just on standby for co-host duty, I believe, for Perp. So
I'll be on 12 to 2 if you ain't got nothing going on. Stop by.
12 to 2 on Christmas Eve?
Yep, 12 to 2 p.m.
And then I come on it too. So
And he
I'll
comes
be at
on
the mercy
after.
of Mrs. Tux that I can come on at that time. Christmas is out of the window, but definitely Christmas Eve. There's a chance I could hop on.
Yeah, we're gonna do that, and then my son's coming over, and we're gonna have dinner Christmas Eve. So we're gonna take care of all of business Christmas Eve this year.
Sounds good. All right, cheers all.
Yep, you have a good one.
All right, see y'all later.
So I'll be on Tuesday. Jenny Morgan will be here with me. Anybody else that wants to stop in can. I'll probably do an open panel on Christmas Eve at 2 p.m. Eastern as soon as Dave's show goes off. And so, yeah. Thanks for coming and watching, everybody. See you then.
Bye.
See y'all later.